Orange Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by the Florida Department of Transportation. Hey, listeners, before celebrating St. Patrick's Day this year, remember to plan ahead and know all your options. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel. Instead, designate a sober driver or catch a ride service. And if you are the designated sober driver, commit to staying sober. Don't let your luck run out.
Thankfully, Central Florida's warm weather is returning, and if you're expecting higher energy bills, don't worry, because Renewal by Anderson's Acclaim windows can make a real difference. Why? Because they're engineered for our climate. Heat transfer, block UV rays, and keep your home more comfortable year-round. And right now, during their 31-day spring savings event, when you buy 2 replacement windows or doors, you'll get the third 60% off. It's one of the easiest ways to upgrade comfort, protection, and energy efficiency in a single project. Many homeowners notice a difference immediately. Quieter rooms, fewer drafts, and AC systems that don't have to work as hard. And with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 18 months, starting your project has never been easier. Here's what Julie had to say about Renewal by Anderson. Wonderful job as expected. The best ever. Thanks, guys. I love my windows. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
This is the sound of Jack, buzz cutting his way to a small fortune. To Jack, every time he cuts his own hair, that's $50 right in his pocket. If Jack sees DIY buzz cuts as a saving strategy, Wells Fargo is right behind him. And with their mobile app, tracking his savings is easy. Oh, ouch. However you make money work, we can work with that.
Mobile carriers' message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Escape to Aquatica Orlando for an adventure unlike anywhere else. Slide into endless thrills and unwind with sandy beaches, wave pools, and lazy rivers. Come face to fin with unexpected new friends and enjoy lively events all year long. Every visit brings something new at Aquatica, the #1 outdoor water park in America. Save up to 30% on passes. Hurry, offer ends soon. Taxes, service fees, blackout dates, and other restrictions may apply.
I'm worth a lot more.
I'm worth a lot more.
I'm worth more.
You know what? You're right. And we want to pay more at Give Me the VIN, because good cars are worth more, and so are you. For top price, trust, and ease of transaction, GiveMeTheVIN.com, America's best car buyer.
Hey, Russ Rollins here from the Monsters. You know, it's March, and that means, well, it's going to be a warmer weather and allergy season for a lot of folks. So if you're dusting nonstop and sneezing all the time, you don't know what's going on, maybe you need to clean your air ducts. That could be the problem. Every time your AC kicks on, it's blowing some dust in your house. Get that debris all cleaned up with Zero Res. OrlandoZeroRes.com. They can do it for you. You mention me, you'll get $100 off. It's 407-232-9188 or book online at OrlandoZeroRes.com. Spell forwards or backwards, Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
Orlando, professional spring football is back. Sunday, March 29th, 8 p.m. The Orlando Storm make landfall at Inter & Co Stadium for their historic home opener. This is more than a game. It's the beginning of Storm history. Get your tickets now at UFLStorm.com and be there when the Storm strikes.
Are your investments in the right accounts? What's best, traditional or Roth? Are you receiving all available tax deductions? Are you paying as little in tax as you can? These are all questions you can't afford to get wrong. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth, and in many cases, it's not what you make, but it's what you keep that makes the real difference. Trajan Wealth and Trajan Tax work closely together exclusively. No more guessing about whether you should do a Roth conversion, or if maxing out your 401k is really the best option. Our nationally recognized fiduciary advisors and CPA team work in tandem to make sure your tax strategy works with your investment strategy. We'll even do your tax preparation. One team, one strategy. Isn't it time for a second opinion? Call Trajan today. 407-213-0000. That's 407-213-0000.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
There's no championship league for small business owners, but if there was, you.
Tora, Lora, Lo, Tora, Lora. Hello. Hope everybody's having a lovely Tuesday.
Competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at Lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo. 2 words. Prostate exam. Did your butt just clench? Relax. Screening starts with a simple, finger-free blood test. Around 1 in 8 men in the United States will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. But don't clinch. Prostate cancer can have over a 99% 5-year relative survival rate when caught at a localized or regional stage. If you're 40 or older and have a prostate, visit RelaxIt'sABloodTest.com to see if a PSA blood test is right for you. Talk to your doctor about screening and next steps. Sponsored by Novartis.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Got a question after an accident? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The 3 best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Tuesday, March 17th, 2026. Lots to get to today, from a St. Patrick's Day party to Trump talks about taking Cuba at a press conference, and airports face chaos over TSA drama and extreme weather, plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Top of the morning to ya.
Hello, C-Lane.
How we doing?
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. And it is, friends, a Share the Show Tuesday. That's right.
Yeah.
That means you tell somebody about the News Junkie radio show, spread the word, say, hey, I like this show. I think you'll like it too. It's about viral news. It's better than the same 3 songs over and over again.
Why don't you listen to my favorite show today?
It's not even just that. It's not even just that. It's also St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Yeah, baby.
That's right. Right here on the show. Welcome to St. Patrick's Day. That's right. Share the Show Tuesday, colliding with the St. Patrick's Day. I'm incredibly worried about the mode that C-Lane seems to be engaged in right now.
Same. Also, all 3 of us have never matched more.
Are you wearing green too? Are we all green? Oh yeah, we are all green. My right. I don't know if we've all participated together in a St. Patrick's Day in the history of the damn show.
Usually you forget.
I know, I do.
Yeah.
I do. Or I refuse. But I didn't do it today. I didn't do it. I was walking into the closet, and I said, I guess I should wear something green. And Courtney goes, absolutely. And I go, all right, take
mine is like
cat shirt out.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle green. Like I feel
it is
like
glowing.
I don't understand how it's happening.
You look like you're in a nightclub, and you got like a couple of yellow or green things on that are just glowing in the black.
You have a ring light that I can't see? Is there something directly pointed at you?
I think I'm not okay. It might be my last day on Earth, but ready to party.
Sabrina's shirt says, "Oh, for luck's sake." Is that what it says?
See
I'm trying to look at the
there?
monitors here. Yeah. I have a very green shirt on. It's not really the content is a cat getting arrested. It says, "I hate people," but the color is very much green.
Right.
And then Christopher O'Lane over there is decked out. He has you got the hat on. You got the Jameson wraparound.
It's called a scarf. Sabrina has one too.
Oh, you both got scarves? I'm scarfless. He's scarfless.
This guy doesn't have any scarves.
I don't, unfortunately.
We love Jameson.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, here's the thing.
It's my holiday.
Here's the thing. I don't want to like bring down things and police the show. It's not what I'm looking at doing today.
I knew it.
It's just that the first 2 sentences that C-Lane said to me.
Scotland Yard over here.
When I sat down in the studio was C-Lane goes, well, Ubered in, brought a fresh bottle with me.
Oh, hell yeah, you did.
And he's like,
I need a ride to work tomorrow.
What did you bring with you, C-Lane? What did you?
Well, see, the bad part is somebody left something with Sabrina over there. And it's more expensive than mine.
Oh, really?
I cheaped out.
Also,
and
it's
just
not
got Tully.
Oh my God. Jameson and Tullamore. Well, I mean, hold on.
Wait,
what do you
it.
got?
I did the best I could. I have a Guinness over here. Got it. Last minute, so I did what I had to do.
Okay, and you're about to drink it right from the bottle.
Yeah,
you
why
need a
not?
pint glass.
No.
Okay.
The real Irishmen, right out the bottle, they drink it. Right from the harp, as they say.
Cilantro.
Sláinte.
Just as terrible as I remember.
Oh my
Happy
God.
St.
You think
Patrick's
Guinness
Day,
is
everybody.
terrible?
No, it's good. It's good. I can only drink one of them.
Yeah.
I can only. I mean, whiskey. I could do the whole bottle if I would go over there if I wanted.
You're right.
I could.
Your house. This is the place to do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no telling what's going to happen during the show today. It's a St. Patrick's Day show. We got a lot of things to talk about. It's going to be a fun ride.
Employee review yesterday, so I think I'm all set.
Might as well, right? Me too. Yeah, got that over with. And no meeting. So for those of you who don't know, we have to sit down every year and they make us rate ourselves. And then they rate us, and then they see how they rated us is out of connection with how we rated ourselves.
Couldn't help but disagree with what you said on point number 4.
It's like, you called yourself here a studious employee, and you put yourself a 10 out of 10 on studious employee vibes, and we have you, unfortunately, here as a 1.
I could have, faked my way through this survey style 1 to 10 and just put all 10s, but I was like, that's not helpful. And then I was told, you undercut yourself in some ways. Like, I gave you a higher score for a couple of these things, and one of them, I don't know why it came to me. One of them was honesty.
You called yourself a liar? Which is a lie in and of itself?
Because that's kind of a trick question. When somebody says, how honest do you rate yourself 1 out of 10? If you rate yourself 10, that seems dishonest.
And I looked straight at Jack Bradshaw and go, you don't know what I'm not being honest about.
And you'll never know either, right? You'll never know. And somebody's mentioning in the chat, they're saying they did a Rate My Blank with you guys. Yeah. Rate My Blank Monday, except it was Rate My Employees.
It was Monday.
Yeah, they bring you in and they go, hey, here's what's going on. Here's where you rated yourself. Here's how we rate you. Okay, sayonara, sucker. Good luck. We'll see what happens next time. And today, nobody's in sight. Who knows what's going on? They've left us unattended for a St. Patrick's Day show. And that's why I'm already 4 sips into a Guinness. You know what I mean?
Say less.
See when you going to break into that?
I already did.
Oh.
We did
you take
cheers.
a shot already?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Did
you not watch us while we all did it?
I was drinking. Well, I don't watch when I drink.
This guy, 4 sips into the weakest beer at the bar, and he's already becoming a problem.
Don't watch when I drink.
I don't watch when I drink. Like when you go underwater, do you look around?
Yeah.
I don't do that either. I close my eyes. And when I have a drink or have a shot, I'm not looking. I feel like it would be weird. Like if you have 2 people with you and you're all taking shots at the same time, you're looking at the other 2 people when you take the shot?
I mean, you're acting like you don't have your eyes open when you're kissing Courtney. And I know for sure that's a fact that you kiss with your eyes open.
No, I mean, I'm not kissing all that much. You know what I mean? It's been a while. Normal amount, normal couple amount, but we don't just like in the living room. You haven't
white snaked it out in a bit.
No, just like randomly. You want to make out, babe?
Courtney, get in the studio. We're doing tongue kissing.
We could. Who knows what happens today? But folks, celebrate with us. I know it's not Monday, but I'd still like to see your green. So hit us up with a photo dispatch. We'll take a look at your St. Patrick's Day outfits over there with your photo dispatches today from thenewsjunkie.com. And same old, as if it's a Monday, we'll look at the best St. Patrick's Day getup and we'll rate it right now.
I brought
What are
tattoos.
you unfurling? What are you pulling out of the sack you have over there?
I mean, obviously from my St. Patrick's Day box in the garage.
I see some beads. You got some beads?
Yep. Here you go. I don't know is it backwards? There we go.
Certified sex instructor, it says. I love how we force things into the St. Patrick's Day world.
You know what they say, those who can't teach.
Right,
bang.
Is the St. Patrick's Day world in any way related to sex? I mean,
How do you think they
maybe the Irish don't strike me as a very hypersexual type, but what do I know? I'm only half Irish.
This is not going to be a thing.
I mean,
oh yeah, no, the hat is good. You got to come see this, folks, over on YouTube.
I can't see anything.
I don't think a lot of St. Patrick's Day revelers are getting laid unless it's in the morning. You know, I just think with the amount of alcohol surging through them.
You kidding me? St. Patrick's Day sex is like pizza bagels.
Can I tell you, C-Lane, I'm so glad that you're not driving, because if a cop pulled you over looking like that, there's no roadside tests. They just go, sir, just
Can
get
you
in the back
find a pot of gold, copper?
Get into the back of the car, sir. I know you don't wear that Irish ass hat every single day. I know that's not part of your regular outfit. You are drunk. Almost done with this thing. That's
You're
what I could
drinking
just.
it in the worst way possible.
What do you mean? Right out of it's cold, right out the bottle.
Not cold, but there's a little thing in there so that when you put
Not
it in
this
the
one.
pint,
Not the glass.
No, this is a glass. It's a Guinness draft stout glass, and boy, is it something. So let's start off as we always do. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. You know where we're going.
I know
already.
exactly where we're going.
Where are we going?
You know where we're going.
You know, Sabrina.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. Let's jump into the time machine.
Oh, yes.
We're doing it.
Give me the go. Wow.
There we go. All right. A little long, but it is a time machine. You know, they're not very quick. It takes some time.
You can make up for the lost time.
Let's go back in time to the greatest St. Patrick's Day news segment of all time. We've got this right now. Let's go.
Well, just in time for St. Patrick's Day, crowds are coming by the dozens to get an up-close view at what some say is a piece of Irish folklore.
Some people in the Crichton area of Mobile say a leprechaun is taking up residence in their neighborhood.
A leprechaun?
A leprechaun.
There's something about the way the guy delivered that line, right?
I'm terrible at quoting, but there's many parts of this that I'm ready to quote.
The guy, like the news reporter or the news anchor, leans in and he goes, leprechaun. Yeah. Very awkwardly.
A leprechaun is taking up residence in their neighborhood. A leprechaun. NBC 15's Brian Johnson has more.
Come on, Brian Johnson.
Curiosity leads to large crowds in Mobile's Crichton community. Many of you bring binoculars, camcorders, even camera phones to take pictures.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun and say, yeah?
I'll never get enough of it. That's like...
There's so
when
many
this
great
guy
parts.
passes away, I want this to be the blown up picture at his funeral.
Where is this guy? We usually do these check-ins with people after they go viral, and David at the dentist is like a dentist now, or whatever the update is. This is old. I think this is from, I don't know, this got to be 15 years ago. Celine, get a date on this.
Eyewitnesses say the leprechaun only comes out at night. If you shine a light in its direction, it suddenly disappears. This amateur sketch resembles what...
That'll never get old. The amateur sketch they show...
So good.
Is like the quickest doodle on graph paper you've ever seen in your life, or just like line tip paper with a very, very basic outline of what is supposed to be a leprechaun, I guess.
Anybody have a guess on what year this news report first aired?
I saw it already. So
you did? Okay.
Just you, Sean.
2009.
2006. The Crichton Leprechaun is 20 years old.
Wow.
As of a couple days ago.
20 years of the leprechaun.
Many of you say the leprechaun looks like. Others find it hard to believe and have come up with their own theories and explanations for the image.
My theory is it's casting a shadow from the other limb.
Could be a crackhead that got hold to the wrong stuff. And it told me to get up in a tree and play a leprechaun.
We're going to get down to the bottom
Don't
of
be
this.
afraid, man.
Yeah, it's still on there, guy. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, man.
This guy helping to direct traffic says he's...
Yeah, we got no name on him or anything. It's like, this rando on the street right here.
Wait till he shows you, passed down from generations, leprechaun warding flute.
Yeah. This, I mean, it just keeps delivering. Like, this is literally the segment that just always gives it all
for
to
his
you.
encounter with the leprechaun. He's suited up from head to toe.
This wars off smells right here. This is a special leprechaun flute. It's been passed down from thousands of years ago from my great-great-grandfather who was Irish. I just came to help out.
Others just came to get lucky in hopes a pot of gold may be buried under this tree.
I'm gonna run a backhoe and uproot that tree. I want to know where the gold at. I want the gold.
Give me
the gold. I want the gold.
This is Brian Johnson, NBC 15 News.
Yeah, there he goes. Brian Johnson, NBC 15 News. Oh, I say it was the best of times, it was the worst of times over on chat. True. What a time to be alive,
They
man.
don't make it like they used to.
No. St. Patrick's Day parade today. They're expecting 2 million spectators out there in their streets. Just like gangs in New York. They'll be out there. You know, the Irish will be there doing their thing. The ne'er-do-wells will be out there. They drink, they party. In some places, they dye the river green.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. They do. I thought you were just going to say...
Die.
In some places, they die on account of...
In some places, they die. Yeah. I mean, what, you mean the lady yesterday? Yeah. Some places, they do die. I wasn't going to bring that up, but thanks for bringing everything down,
C-Lane.
Oh, I thought I was going to be the fun sucker today, saying we got to be careful here because you look like you're revved up and ready to go 115 miles an hour in the slow lane. And yet here, the problem is you. The problem is you bringing up dead people.
The problem is not me.
I'm not going to kill anybody during the show today.
Get me to go. I want to go.
I can't promise that. I can't promise that. Cheers, everybody, on a St.
I would leave your house if I lived there.
Cilantro.
Okay. Are you saying cilantro? Just
yeah, it was a little joke.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to find the gold. We're going to find the leprechauns, and we're going to tell you what's going on a lovely St. Patrick's Day here on the show. We also have this wild story. Have you guys followed at all the lady who was alleged to have drugged her husband with fentanyl?
Oh.
And then she wrote a book about it afterwards?
No.
The trial that's going on?
Yeah. The lady in court who they said killed her husband by, I am killing somebody off, by poisoning him with fentanyl. And the whole story behind this, as the sentence came down, so crazy. I have the actual moment in court, and we'll tell you if you missed this story, but it's a really, really interesting one. That and everything viral today, of course, is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733. Looking at delays still eastbound on...
Hello, welcome behind the scenes of the show. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. A lot of changes to the newsjunkie.com/chat. If there's anybody over there, hello. If there's anybody over on the newsjunkie.com/chat, send me a message confirming you're there, okay? Want to make sure that's all working correctly. Don't be quiet about it. Hey, Woody. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Living La Vida Loca. Hey, Dan. Hey, Nilsa. Hey, Sea Witch. This case is why you don't write a book after that, after doing something like that? Yes. And how many stories have there been, and I say this meaning there have been multiple, about people who have killed somebody and then wrote a book about it or a blog post or something about it afterwards, and then that was actively used to show their guilt. It's happened. Hey, T-Back. Hey, Wolfman. Hey, Sun State John. Hey, Benjamin. I see you, Stepafee, over there on the website chat. Good morning to you, too. Are you seen today in light of the holiday? No. Hey, Ryan, how are you? Your messages are coming in nice and big now. Nice and beefy on the top of the mega chat. Love it. The book was about grief. She was convicted. The trial was wild. Hey, MFQ. All right, couple minutes and we're back live. We got some big updates to get to. Hey, Fins fan, how are you over there? Coming in loud and clear over here on the studio screen. Hey, Loose Neutral. Everybody over on website chat, TNJ chat we'll call it, all right? Everybody on website chat, don't forget, if you want to reply to somebody else, type the @ key and start typing their name, and you'll see the people who are there that you can talk to, so you can direct message them. I also added some features overnight. One feature is there is an @reply button where you can see all the messages that were directed at you that you may have missed while you were not in chat. It's almost like an inbox. So if somebody ats you in chat while you're gone, afterwards when you come back you can click that and see everything that you missed at a glance. I can also @everyone with an @everyone command. That's only me or admins or mods that are able to do that. That one's out there. Also, if you logged in and you did not create a password, you will now see on the bottom of the chat a little lock icon. Click that and you can add a password to your account so that you make sure you hold that and lock it down. Vince Fan says, thanks for saying it correctly. Well, what am I here for? Well, his chat has better mentioning functionality than the YouTube app. Well, they're a little bigger of a machine to move around. Okay, be safe. What are you getting a total on? Are you totally getting some wine?
No.
Totally do.
THC and White Claw.
You getting THC? What are you, a stoner?
No.
Okay, drive safe out there.
You think there's already drunk people?
Well, probably, yeah, actually. A couple of them.
Hey.
Stay away from them.
Okay.
Don't let people see all of the pollen all over your car.
Wait, it got rained on yesterday.
Still on there. That stuff is so much pollen out there, it's crazy.
You're crazy.
You're crazy. You're not even wearing green.
Yes, this is green. It's sage. Also, I have green eyes. So
It doesn't count. You do that every year. It doesn't count if your eyes are green.
It's green.
All right.
Alright.
Bye. Hi, Missy79. How are you? Sean, are you going to do an Irish dance? How do you do an Irish dance? Is that an Irish dance? Is that an Irish dance? Hey, Tim. Tim says, hey, all Ohio loves you. 22 degrees. Tim, believe it or not, it actually got cold here a little bit overnight. Not super cold, but it got colder once again in Orlando. Okay, 2 minutes and we're back. Racist dance, if I ever saw one? Buddy, I am half French and half Irish. I don't think it's possible for me to be racist against the Irish. Lord of the Pants? That's just mean. Move your legs but keep your upper body completely stiff. That's literally my only move. Okay, 1 minute. By the way, is this a sin? A cardinal sin? A Guinness out of the actual bottle? Nailed it. I must say, it's good, not great. I like water better. Okay, we're coming back. All right, let's talk about this mom who was found guilty of poisoning her husband. Wait till you hear the court audio. Coming up.
Life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Ah. Use as directed.
Hi, I'm Bob Pittman, Chairman and CEO of iHeartMedia. I'm sharing with you my podcast, Math and Magic, Stories from the Frontiers of Marketing. Math and Magic takes you behind the scenes of the biggest businesses while sharing insights from the smartest minds in marketing. I'm talking to Liquid Death CEO Mike Cesario.
Investors don't like to invest in ideas. They like to invest in businesses.
Charlemagne the God, and our own Chief Business Officer, Lisa Coffey. Listen to Math and Magic on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Math and Magic to start listening.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Filling you in on the shocking details. Just try not to pass out. This is the news.
Newsroom. So good to have you. So good to be with you. You can learn more about this show. All you have to do is go over to the website, thenewsjunkie.com. It is St. Patrick's Day here on the show. Hey, everybody. We are enjoying our St. Patrick's time with you. We've got a lot of stories to get into, including this one about this Utah mom. I've got the courtroom audio. I'm going to play for you in just a second. It's pretty crazy. It is. It's an intense story, but it's one of those ones that reminds you, one of the weirdest things you can do after you kill somebody is write a book about the person being dead. And it's happened on this show over the years more times than I think I can count. Like,
only one person got away with it.
O.J. Simpson? Yeah. I mean, O.J. Simpson did it afterwards. He wrote that book, and it was like, if I did it.
Yeah, it's if I did it.
Yeah. Right. And then there was a story that we talked about a long time ago that Sealand and Sabrina, you might remember, where somebody wrote a blog post about how to kill your husband, and then the person was accused of killing their husband.
I remember that.
And in this case, this was a woman in Utah who wrote a book about grief. And it was after her husband died that she wrote this book for little kids about dealing with grief and dealing with a parent dying. And she did the rounds on a bunch of different shows where they were interviewing her about the book she wrote for kids. But according to prosecutors, she killed her husband, and according to a jury, they said it was indeed murder. I'll play that audio in a second, but according to prosecutors, Corey Richins put 5 times the legal dose of fentanyl into a cocktail that her husband Eric Richins drank.
Wait, lethal?
5 times the lethal dose.
I thought you said legal, and I was like, there's not a legal dose of fentanyl, is there?
Yeah, 5 times the lethal dose of fentanyl in a cocktail that her husband drank. And it wasn't the first time she tried to do this, by the way. Prosecutors say Richards was $4.5 million in debt at the time. Whoa. She thought if she killed him, she would inherit his estate worth $4 million. She was also seeing another man that she was texting back and forth, and they went through their, salacious text messages with each other. She attempted killing her husband on another occasion where she gave him, this seems so wrong, a fentanyl-laced sandwich.
What kind of
sandwich? That made
him
black out. It doesn't say what kind of sandwich, but just a fentanyl-laced sandwich. Like, you're like, oh, end of the day, wife made me a sandwich. You grab your big sandwich, take a bite of it, and all of a sudden you go.
I don't know if what their dynamic was relationship-wise. I think the first red flag for me would be that my wife made me a sandwich.
Something's going on here.
Like, why?
And then not only does your wife make you a sandwich, but she's trying to get you to eat it like Harry and Lloyd in Dumb and Dumber when they put the hot peppers on the other guy's burger, and they're like, how's your burger? Did you try it? Eat up. Why don't you eat up and we'll tell you.
Pills are good.
Yeah. You're like, wait, why do you want me to eat this sandwich so bad? This seems a bit curious. What's going on? And the guy starts texting his friends. He goes, I just ate this sandwich and I'm feeling like all messed up. He ended up blacking out. Before she was arrested in 2023, she published the book, Are You With Me? And promoted it on local TV and radio stations. Prosecutors say this was an attempt to cover up the murder. Her sentencing is coming up in May 13th, but here's what happened in the courtroom as they announced the verdict in the case against this lady.
It's been a while, right?
Yes, 2023, I think, was when this started, or at least that's when the case started up. But this is the moment that the verdict came down.
We, the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Corey Richins, is guilty of aggravated murder.
She looks down.
We, the jury, unanimously agree that the prosecution has proved the following circumstance or circumstances regarding count 1 beyond a reasonable doubt. The homicide was committed for pecuniary gain.
Homicide?
And the homicide was committed by means of the administration of any substance administered in a lethal amount, dosage, or quantity.
So guilty is what's coming across here. They had
How'd she
3
get a
little
hold of it?
kids. I don't know. She bought it. Yeah, that was another thing, too. They said that one of the key parts of the case was that she was caught buying fentanyl, and then it happened that fentanyl was in the guy's system, and then she had to explain why. Well, was this a different fentanyl that you had? And there was a whole back and forth on that. Let's see what else the verdict says here.
Count 2, attempted aggravated murder. We, the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Corey Richins, is guilty of attempted aggravated murder. We, the jury, unanimously agree the prosecution has proved the following circumstance or circumstances regarding count 2 beyond a reasonable doubt. The attempted homicide was committed for pecuniary gain.
Money.
Count
She was
3.
She was found guilty on all 5 counts, including aggravated murder and attempted aggravated murder, which I think is kind of weird to think about because you're like, wait, hold on. They got her on murder and attempted murder?
Because the first time that he blacked out?
Yeah, because of the sandwich attack. Yeah, Sabrina, you're right. Like the sandwich attack was like an attempted murder that was a separate crime. And then she went through with it again and actually killed this guy.
Ballsy.
And then had the extra balls to write the book called, what did I say it was, like, dealing with grief. Are You With Me? The book that she wrote and promoted in local media.
Insurance fraud. We, the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Corey Richins, is guilty of insurance fraud.
By the way, they tried to say, well, why would she do this for money? He was worth more to her while he was alive. And the funny part was they said, sure, she got $4 million in insurance payout, but she spent all of that within 6 months. So it's not proof that that's why she did it. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Big Digit says I could fix her. What is wrong with you guys? What is wrong with you people?
BDMP says so. She's single.
Fraud.
My
We,
God.
the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Corey Richins, is guilty of insurance fraud.
Across the board.
Forgery. We, the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Corey Richins, is guilty.
That's it.
Of forgery. It's signed by the foreperson. Please have a seat.
And multiple people,
Madam Foreperson, is this
saying that they could fix this woman. She's a very average-looking lady, just for
Start
the record.
writing your letters because she's going to jail forever.
Although I did see 3 kids, nope, I'm out. Well, so you're fine with the murderous intentions and the poisoned sandwiches from this lady? The fentanyl sandwiches you're fine with, but then when she has 3 kids, like, ugh, sorry, not doing that. Her womb is used. Like, what? That is so weird. So weird. This woman is evil. She's an evil, evil woman. And it's amazing to me that so many of these things were even happening. One being the fact that she was, shockingly, or maybe not shockingly, she was sitting there trying to poison her husband to death. And 2, that while that was going on, there was another guy that was willing to talk to her the whole time and wanted to be with her when the husband died.
Riddle me this.
Some of you guys are weird, man.
Her book's still available for purchase, and how many people, if so, do you think are buying it now that she has been convicted of
Good question.
murder?
Let's do an Amazon check. Are You With Me book is what it is.
She still get the royalties.
You With Me book. Corey Richins. Not seeing that as the top option. I see a Are You With Me, but that's like a war book. I see a book that's unrelated called, I don't know why this came up. I searched for Are You With Me, and the book is Who Pooped on Me?
Their cookies are weird, man.
I don't know why Amazon thinks that's a relatable book, but yeah, I don't see I don't see it. Are You With Me? I don't see it here. At least it's not on Amazon.
So the answer is no.
Mom's Way Worse Than You? No. Are You With Me book? Maybe just on the internet in general. It's available. Oh, it Goodreads has the book.
Yeah, I see it.
1.68 stars. All right. What are the reviews on this thing? This book is a killer. It will take your breath away. So good that it's simply murder. The author clearly knows all about death on a deeply intimate level. When I finished, I felt like I'd be poisoned to death with fentanyl by a loved one. It's that powerful. I can honestly say it kicks harder than a Moscow Mule. Allegedly, the drink that had the fentanyl in it. Now you know.
The trolls
what's
got
going
right
on.
on that, huh?
Yeah, they popped in here. 87 reviews. A lot of 1-starsies. I do love how the internet works where they go, hey, this bitch, sure, she's facing 5 guilty charges and she's going to see a real hefty sentence, I would hope, behind bars here. But the way to really get her is the 1-star internet reviews that we're going to do.
Okay,
on her
but a
book.
little part of me, because I do not agree with what she did, may rest in peace, poor kids don't have a dad.
Yeah.
I'm curious about what that book, how it reads. Like, any details whatsoever.
I don't know if I don't think they give me like a little sample or something. I can't read it.
I tried to buy on Amazon link, but it's broken.
Damn it.
And
they took it down.
And then I got another text from a mother friend of ours that said, highly recommend Who Pooped on Me. Really good.
Classic, right?
Is he a farmer?
LOL, that's now in your algorithm, Sean, says Rick. I guess so. Now I'm stuck with that.
I mean, the people who are commenting on this book and saying it's killer and all that, I mean, how different is that than being the guy who emailed Jeffrey Epstein like, haha, you're dead now. And it's on his Gmail thing.
True. He made it in there eventually, I think. All right. We have a lot more to get into. We have your dispatches, your emails, all the rest. I told you as well, send your get-ups. What are you wearing for St. Patrick's Day? I want to see your outfit. I know it's not Rate My Blank Monday, but I still want to see them. So send in what you're wearing for a St. Patrick's Day over there on thenewsjunkie.com, and other folks can take a peek when those come in. Be careful if you're headed to the airport. Any of you are traveling today at any point in time, or that goes for traveling really for the rest of the week. We got the double whammy here, which trapped up our friend Josh Fowler. He went to New Orleans and then tried to fly back on Frontier Airlines from New Orleans. Couldn't. Frontier Airlines canceled his flight and then just refunded him the money. Like, good luck, have fun, don't die. Here you go.
Frontier.
Here's your money back, but you're going to have to find another way back. They didn't reschedule the flight or anything. Then he finally has to get a flight the next day. Gets a flight the next day into Atlanta because he couldn't get a direct flight. Direct flight into Atlanta gets delayed from Atlanta back home. And then everybody who was with him, save for one person, poor Thomas, doesn't make it back because they said they're booking
Classic
everybody
Thomas.
in. And they go, as they're booking everybody in, they go, we don't have, we're out of room.
The worst part is they let everybody on the plane because the gate agent messed up. So everybody got to get on the plane, and then Thomas didn't have a seat, and they had to get him back off the plane.
Is that true? He thought he was definitely on his way home. Huh? Oh, that.
And then the worst part for Thomas and for most of that group was that Josh ended up sitting in first class. He got a drink as soon as he sat down.
Damn.
He did, yeah. He got first class. Stop telling C-Lane to play this song. This is unrelated. This is not a news story.
Oh my God, it's totally related.
This is what Chad does every time if there's anything like this. It's not.
What a shocker, what a surprise. It's a tap story as long as it flies.
You started by talking about airports.
We're back on a plane.
Yeah.
That's how you started. That's how we got to the story. The story was a tangent from airport stuff. So
yeah,
we are very much.
Yeah, you're right. I apologize. You're right. So the TSA problem is one thing. The TSA isn't getting paid. You got this partial government shutdown. Blame who you'd like. I don't really care. The TSA people are at the point where they're now not getting paychecks, so a lot of them are not showing up for work. Maybe they're not trying to get that bonus check that some of the other people who worked through the disruption
got. It's not a
got.
guarantee. And are they not getting paid for their last week, work?
They'll get hold on. They'll likely get paid for everything eventually, but if you're not actively getting paid, if I'm not getting paid around here, I'm not coming in. Sorry, I do this for money.
There's a notice on top of the TSA.gov website, but it's not the ones that they had in the
radical left.
Yes, this just says, due to the lapse in federal funding, this website will not be actively managed. Click here for more information. Last time they shut down, all the websites were due to the stupid Democrats, this is closed today.
That dumb whore Pelosi. No, probably not that aggressive, but you get the point.
Don't remember reading that.
In that general direction.
They didn't let Trump write it himself.
It probably would have been that. All caps. And then thank you for your attention to this matter at the end of it. So it's not just even TSA at the airports. It's also winter storms, because I don't know if you noticed, but we're getting absolutely hammered in the United States of America with one blast of weather after another.
So cold.
And it's getting cold again. It's snow piling up. And that's another reason why a lot of the flights weren't going anywhere. Arnott says TSA isn't a radio show. It's critical. Well, TSA is still functioning, technically.
It's also a great radio show, so shut up.
The problem is TSA is going slow because they have a lot of call-outs, which I think, as I said, are understandable. I would probably call out. But there's a lot of call-outs. There's a lot of people who are taking vacation days and stuff to see what happens next. And then the winter storms and everything else. It's there's a lot going on all at once. So if you are flying, I say this not to talk about an airplane story, but simply to tell you something to keep you safe out there. You folks who I care about. You junkies who are on your way to the airport perhaps right now. Yeah, but technically back on a plane. All right, when we come back, I got an update on a story we've been following for a couple of weeks here, and a big update. Then I saw people have done something illegal. All right?
Ooh, tattletale.
They've done something illegal, and this is one of the first times I've done this on the show. In the past, you guys have agreed with people who have committed crimes, but mostly I'll go well, you can't do this, can't do this, can't do this. These people engaged in what is 1,000% a crime, and I'm going to tell you, I back them up 100%.
Whoa.
I back them up 100%, and I think that I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they did it. I'll explain what these folks did, what they were engaged in. I'll give you that update on the story we've been following for a couple of weeks. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Music Weekends, our classic alternative.
I said, remember that love is what I got.
Classic alternative this weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Odoo.com weather.
Hello. Welcome behind the scenes. Skull mic activated. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Bless you. Hi to all chats. Hi to YouTube. Hi to Twitch. Hi to TNJ chat. Hello. Amelia Earhart never had trouble with the TSA? Billy, one of the craziest things to think about is, as recently as the 70s, when was D.B. Cooper? This is a short break. We're back in just a minute. When was D.B. Cooper? When was the D.B. Cooper incident? By the way, studio crashed again last night. My Mega Drive crashed out. Barely got it back up and running. That's why there was no short video yesterday. 1971. So back as recently as the 70s, here's how it worked. Kind of crazy to think about. As recently as the 1970s, you would walk into the airport and you would go up to a counter. At the counter, they would go, "Hello, how are you? How can I help you today?" And you'd go, "Hey, see, I'm looking to catch a flight to Chicago." And they'd go, "Chicago, sir?" "Yeah, that's right. Fly me in Midway." And well, actually, there wasn't a computer. So they just flip through a book and they'd go, "Our next flight to Chicago is departing at 6 p.m. And you'd go, "I'll take that ticket." And they'd put you down for that ticket and they'd go, "Sign in here, sir." And you'd sign in D.B. Cooper.
No identification, no nothing, no whatever. You would walk through the tarmac, or you walk through the terminal right behind these people. You would sit in some chairs. There would be no security. There would be just the most basic manifest. There wouldn't be really any solid information about who these people actually were. That was all the way it was in the 70s. And then in the 80s, there started to be a lot of like hijackings and stuff. And that changed everything. There could be another timeline if none of that ever happened, where you would just rock into the airport and you'd be like, Donald Duck here to take a flight today. And they'd go, all right, let me put you down, Mr. Duck. Here we go. All right, here we go. We're coming back. Here we go.
Season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Hey guys, it's Ryan. I want to tell you about my new pastime, Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has been around for over a decade, delivering the most fun you can have online. Play social casino-style games for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 21+.
Save every day at Headquarter Hyundai. We've dropped prices on acres of new Hyundais. Visit HeadquarterHyundai.com.
Preparing you for the impending robot uprising. This is the News Junkie.
In the world's most viral newsroom, some drinking going on. It's getting a little weird already. A lot to get to, including you and your dispatches over at thenewsjunkie.com. Big update on a story we were talking about for quite a while. I'll bring you up to speed if you missed this. I always try to do that for the folks who are just tuning in or, never tried any of this or experienced any of these stories like this. So let me start from the beginning on this one. There was a story that we've been following out of Georgia where a teacher by the name of Jason Hughes was involved in a prank. There was a prank against him where they were going to go, I think they called it rolling, like a rolling prank.
Toilet paper.
And it was a toilet paper prank. And they showed up at his house and they were going to toilet paper the house, which they did. And he finds out about it. And his wife says, oh, he was so excited. So he finds out about the prank that they're doing. He had a really good relationship with the students. And he sneaks outside because he wants to surprise them. And then he sees them and surprises them. And then he runs over, but he slips on the road. It was a wet road. And he slipped on it and fell. And as one of the students was driving away in his truck, he didn't see that the teacher had fallen on the ground. He drove over the teacher and killed him during this prank. And it was just brutal, just absolutely brutal. They arrested all of the kids that were involved in the prank. And they were talking about putting them behind bars for quite a while. A bunch of charges were against them. Then the teacher's wife said, no, this is one tragedy. We don't need to add another one to it. We don't need to do that. And she said, I want the charges dropped. We were wondering what was going to happen. Now we have our update. And that is that the student involved in the prank linked to a Georgia teacher's death is thanking his widow for forgiveness as the charges have been dropped in this case. Wow. So I was wondering.
Got lucky.
Yeah. I was wondering when we were going to hit this point where they would say, well, we either got to go against the wishes of his wife or we have to drop these charges. And they dropped the charges against him. So
it's still a lifetime of trauma, I'm sure, and guilt, but definitely gets the opportunity, especially, it was very telling as soon as the wife said it. after experiencing the loss of her husband in a tragic accident, still stood up for those kids.
Yeah.
Says a lot.
That is a big move on her part. It really is. And I think maybe she thought, like, I'm looking down the pipeline here at a long court case and having to testify and watching these kids who I think are actually good kids who my husband loved get put away for a whole bunch of time. It's easy to be angry, though. I mean, how easy of a decision would that have been just to be angry and say, no, there's no excuse. Whether he liked you or not is out of the question. You killed him. You took him away from me. And now our kids will grow up without a father. It would have been so easy to be mad. But she didn't do that. It's not the choice that she took in that particular circumstance right there. So that's the update. Charges dropped against those students who pranked their teacher, who ended up dying as he slipped in the truck that the pranksters were driving, ran over him.
The odds of that, too. That's
I know.
awful.
It's freaky, very, very freaky. But that's the facts of the case there. And that's the update on that story we've been following. Another story I saw the headlines today when I was doing all the rounds and trying to see what was going on. So every morning I look at hundreds and hundreds of sources that I have, and I try to find all the things that I can bring to you each day. And hey, here's everything happening out there. Let's talk. Let's see what we can, gin up here. And one of the things I saw headline wise was a familiar name. I told this story about this a long time ago. When I was just in my 20s, I think late 20s.
Long time ago.
This was only 20 years
So
ago.
long.
It was only 20 years ago. Well, actually, it could have been less than that. Actually. I'm only 43,
Go ahead.
44. Am I 44? I'm 44, right?
No,
yeah, I'm 44.
dude.
Yeah, I'm 44.
It'll be 45 this year.
Yeah, I got it right. I'm 44 years old. I know that. It gets weird at this age. But when I was 28 or 29, so not quite 20 years ago, my point being, I was working in Chicago, playing around like a kid on one of the biggest radio stations in the country, WGN Radio. And I told the story about how I was doing the midday show there one day. And it was one of the first days. I had just moved to Chicago about a week before, and I'm hosting the midday show a week later. I've never lived in the Midwest. I didn't know at the time how to pronounce any of the city names or anything, and you have to do that constantly on a station like this. I was just thrown into the fire. All right, thrown in the. They fired.
It's a beautiful fire at this time of year.
They fired this show where these women were hosting. Kathy and Judy, I think, was the name of the show. Celine, look up Kathy and Judy fired and see if you could find that. That'll give you the timeline on this. Kathy and Judy fired WGN. There was this show that was straight out of SNL or something. And these two ladies would just yap back and forth with each other in the most boring show on planet Earth.
WGN Radio cancels Kathy and Judy after 2 decades, May 23rd, 2009.
20 years.
May 23rd, 2009. I was on the day after that. So they fired them at the end of the show. And the next day they were like, Sean, you're going in.
Meow.
I'm in my 20s or something. I'm going in one of the biggest radio stations in the country right after somebody's been fired. So half of the lines are filled with people who are like, bring back Kathy and Judy. I love them so much. And over and over and over, you would have this kind of stuff. And I'm going in there just dropping bombs and grenades everywhere. Same kind of stuff you hear me do now after all of these years. But as I get on there, you have to do so many things. There was traffic and there was weather and there was more than that because this was such a huge station. And it wasn't network stuff either. It is some of it now on WGN in Chicago, but back then it wasn't. So when I would go, all right, we're going to go for the top of the hour checkup. Let's check it in the WGN News Center. And then they would go over and there would be an entire group of people that one by one would take over and do all of their reporting and go to somebody out on the streets. And they go, that's right, Dave. And they did all that, traffic radio, all that. Now, what I had never heard of in my entire life was something that I had to do that day for the first time. And I said, and now for the agriculture updates. Because all the talk stations I ever listened to in my entire life never had an agriculture update.
You haven't lived, man.
Farmer radio is what this was basically. It was like an agriculture update.
It's like that TV station that Imus ended up on.
Yeah.
Cattle auctions.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. And they said, okay, Sean, when we come back, we're going to do the agriculture update. And this is the guy.
Ready?
you have to introduce this guy. They don't tell me anything about him. And I go, it's an agriculture guy? Is it really a big deal? And I go, okay. And I said, all right, now for the agriculture update on WGN News 720. I said, let's go to Orion Samuelson. And his name is Orion Samuelson. By the way, he just died at 91. It's all over the Chicago news today that Chicago broadcast legend Orion Samuelson died at 91. And I said, let's go to Orion Samuelson. And he said, thanks a lot, John, or something that purposely got my name wrong. He was 1,000,000 years old then. But this guy, I had no idea. Legend. He's in the Broadcasting Hall of Fame. He's like the most famous agriculture broadcaster that ever existed. Not that that sounds big.
Listen,
but
somebody's got to be the most famous agriculture broadcaster.
And he would broadcast from, at that point, 15 years ago, 18 years ago, however long it was, he would broadcast from a studio he built in his closet. He wouldn't even come into the radio station at that point.
What a dick. What an absolute dick.
Bacon futures are up $1.43.
Why wouldn't he go into the radio station? You'd think that'd be like the one...
No, he was smart. Smart
thing
guy.
to do.
Yeah, smart guy,
Honorable.
cool guy. And that's why he's in the Radio Hall of Fame, by the way.
And that's why he's also
decisions like
dead
that.
now.
Yeah, that's why he's been in the Radio Hall of Fame. So this guy who grew up on his family's dairy farm in Wisconsin took some shots at me. And I think later we kind of made up, but he was so old. It wasn't like I was going to be pals with him or anything.
Well, thank you for that fun story, John.
Rip Orion Samuelson, not Orion Samuelson.
Orion, what a particular name.
It is. You don't hear that anymore. That's one of those names that's been put out to pasture, just like him.
Orion is a weird name, but it's not like I have heard of like they throwing it to the weatherman whose name is Sean, but it's spelled Scene. And they're like, we're gonna go to Scene, and it's like Scene is not a guy's name,
Or is it Orion?
He didn't like that I screwed it up. He's like, I've been at that point. He'd been there for decades and decades and
he
decades.
Probably really liked Kathy and Judy.
Yeah,
he probably
they were
did.
also there for decades and decades.
Yeah, they sucked though. God, was that bad. I listened to it a little bit before I got there, and we were like, one time I remember tuning in, and they were like, "Did you go to the Stop and Shop the other day?" Oh my God, I did. Yeah, did you see they were like the most mundane, over the fence radio, which to me I hate. It's a sin. It's a sin in broadcasting that for me I'll never forgive. Worse than getting somebody's name wrong. I'll never forgive a sin like this. It's the kind of radio meant to be controversial to no one, to irritate no one, and sound like two people talking
What did they
over
do
their
to
fence
you?
back and forth.
Why are you
they're
so mad
terrible.
at them? Yeah, but
I'm
that
not
was
mad at them.
so long ago, 40 years ago, I thought you said.
Oh, boy. I'm not mad at them. I'm telling you that they were bad at what they were doing, mostly because, I've worked in this industry for a long time, and I know what good and bad sounds like. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'll get to these people who have committed a crime, and I support them. I actually think that these folks did something that we should be happy with. I think that we should laud these people for doing this. One of them was famous. One of them was a celebrity. What happened? We're going to find out. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Traffic still slowing down I-4 westbound through that Lake Mary area due to an earlier accident.
Hello? Welcome behind the scenes, everybody. Good to see you. Hello on YouTube. Hello on Twitch. I like boring radio. I used to listen to NPR. Why would you do that to yourself? Although there is decent stuff on NPR, or at least there used to be from time to time. I would listen to NPR every once in a while. I had my shows that I liked, and then there were shows that I was like, this is terrible. So I'd go elsewhere, and every once in a while I'd pop it over and I'd be like, what's going on here? I was all over the place on radio then. Then Sean showed up on Real Radio at 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. Yeah, true. Yeah, imagine taking a gig like that where they go, we're going to find a spot for you, but we got to wait. And you go, how long do I have to do this 5 a.m. show before I get something serious here? And they go, well, should only be like 6 months to a year. Then you go like 3 years. I think it was 2 years, maybe 2 years. I'm exaggerating a little bit. But it was a while. Hey, Sean, how you doing today? Hey, Cushman, why are you being an asshole? Is Cushman being an asshole? How is asking me how am I doing today being an asshole? NPR Tiny Desk concerts are awesome. Those have been very successful for them. That was a smart gimmick, right? Even I like watching those. Those are fun. I remember the 5 a.m. days. Thanks for being around. Kurt, it's not how you spell the website, okay? That's not how you spell the website. I don't know what you guys are fighting at in chat, but it'll be fun. Sean, do you listen to Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me? I have before. I'm not a fan or anything, but I have before. I know what it is. It's like a game. It's a game for the oldos. Yeah, I used to listen to, I think it was WLRN, which I believe is the NPR station in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And that was back when I was working on WNNN and WSBR, which used to be owned by Beasley Broadcasting. After I got fired from the 103.1 The Buzz, the rock station where I first started, I wasn't exactly super employable, so I had to go find any radio job. I was calling every radio station I possibly could. And I called the station far away. I had to drive there 45 minutes to an hour. WSBR. And then there was like this studio I would work in, and on one side of me, like behind me, would be WNNN, and then the other side would be WSBR, and I would have to control both of them at the same time, like back and forth. It was a whole thing. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah, definitely, Billy. Yeah, I used to listen to Love Docs all the time. Grew up on that.
Learn more at spectrum.com/free-forever. Spectrum Internet is powered by fiber and connected to the premises by coaxial lines. Restrictions apply.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Need help after an accident? Just call Mo. Learn more at JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station guaranteed human.
He won't hesitate to call you out when you're being a little ASCII. This is the news.
Newsroom. Learn more about the show. Go over to the website, thenewsjunkie.com. We got a lot to get into here in just a moment on St. Patrick's Day. Somebody over on YouTube saying, because we were talking about radio, Sean, did you ever listen to the Love Doctors? The Love Doctors. Back in the day on West Palm, Dr. Rich, Dr. Glenn, and Dano. Yes, very much did. Yeah, I mean, when I was a little kid, I mean, pretty young, like 7, 8, 9, maybe 9 years old, 10 years old. When they were first starting, I used to hear them because my friend was super into them. And then
by the time like Beavis and Butthead time, it must have been around there, because we were just these dumb kids and we thought it would be so funny if we called as Beavis and Butthead into their show, The Love Doctors.
Wow.
And do like horrifically bad Beavis and Butthead impressions.
You're a dumbass,
Beavis. Didn't even sound close to the actual Beavis and Butthead of MTV lore. But yeah, we would do that back in the day and be like, oh man, so funny, so good.
Did the actual Love Doctors think it was funny? Or
not at all. No, of course they didn't. It wasn't funny at all. No, we were terrible. And great show. If you don't know, it was a call-in show in South Florida. Basically started the format that became what is Real Radio and was in a lot of markets at one point in time. Hell, I don't know. I mean, at one point there was maybe a dozen or 10 different Real Radios. There was a lot of them. It was a talk format, much like this show. Was it a Loveline ripoff or vice versa? I think they were around before Loveline, but I'm not positive. And it wasn't really like that. They didn't focus on. They took a lot of calls, and people in West Palm know these folks better than anybody, obviously. But for the folks who don't know them, they took a lot of calls. It was caller-intensive show, absolutely caller-intensive show. And they were very, very skilled at keeping a show flowing and making for entertaining radio for many a year. So, yeah, I'm very familiar with them. Love that. Love good radio. Love people who are actually great at broadcasting. It is a craft, and those who are good at it, I absolutely salute them. I hope to live up to any of that around here each day. On St. Patrick's Day, of course, we got you and your dispatches, your emails, all of that good stuff that's coming in. And I had an update on a story. I wanted to get into the people who are criminals that I support. And I mean this. Wait till you hear what these people did. And there was a celebrity involved in this. I think they did the right thing. I think they legitimately did the right thing. But there's an update on that Daytona Beach spring break chaos, which we talked about yesterday. And there was a bunch of people on the beach in particular. They were all gathered around. It seemed like kind of an impromptu thing. Maybe they organized it on social media. There wasn't like an organized party with tents and people with their blankets and laying out on the beach with their Bluetooth speakers and their setups and stuff. It was just a bunch of people standing on the beach, and there was a lot of them. There was a ton of these people. And then they thought a gunshot went off, and they all started running. You've probably seen the video no matter where you live, because it went pretty viral over the last week or so. In the video, everybody on the beach just starts sprinting in different directions at a high rate of speed. But they found out that it wasn't a gunshot. In fact, yesterday, right around this time, our friend Amy Caulfield told us, hey, it wasn't a gunshot, according to the sheriff. But then they said what it actually was. And it seems so much dumber to me. So much dumber. Because Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood says there were 0 gunshots on the beach for the viral video. He says there was about 50 deputies in the crowd. That's a lot of cops out there.
That's why they're all standing around not doing anything fun.
Well, there was a lot of cops out there. I didn't expect that there would have been that many on the site. But he said the incident was clearly social media driven. Let's all go invade Daytona, said Sheriff Chitwood. But he said it was not a gunshot. He said the sounds were people in the crowd manipulating water bottles to make loud noises that would scare the crowd.
That like twist kind of. I remember doing that in middle school.
Like popping a water bottle so that everybody thinks you just shot a gun, so that everybody runs crazy in every direction.
God, cool.
Like, which if you did that, what happens if somebody dies? If you're like, oh, this will be funny, I'm going to pretend like there's a gunshot going on by smashing a water bottle, and then everybody's going to run. If somebody gets trampled and dies, I feel like you've definitely committed a crime.
How do you narrow it down?
It's literally inciting a panic. Like, that is absolutely positively what that is to a T. But that's what that was. And I was like, God, it somehow gets dumber. I was amazed that there were these people. I'm not that amazed that young people are showing up for some gathering for spring break. That's not amazing to me or shocking or anything. But the fact that they're there and trying to screw with each other by faking a loud sound like a gunshot with a water bottle, that is another level of stupid. That's pretty dumb.
Now tell me this. did they go so stupid as to still post the video and take claim?
I don't know.
Big prank.
I haven't seen anybody in the crowd. I've only seen those shots where everybody goes, and they're running in every direction you could possibly think of.
How do you think you would feel if you were the guy that was just messing around with your water bottle, just wanted to make a noise, and all of a sudden you pop it and everybody starts running and you're like, I have messed up, guys. I made a little mistake.
I mean, if you were just sitting there just nervously crumbling your empty Zephyr Hills water bottle in front of you and boom, and everybody hits the deck and freaks out.
At least they're hydrating. That wasn't always an essential part of my spring break.
Yeah. I think they may have done
or
this
St. Patrick's Day.
I think they could have possibly done this on purpose. I do see your photos coming in. Keep those rolling in today, please, over on thenewsjunkie.com. Even though it's not a Rate My Blank Monday, I still want to see what you're rocking for St. Patrick's Day. And we do have some pretty good ones. The lovely Lolita sends in her gear. She's rocking the Irish-ish sweatshirt and also some Irish
pants.
Yeah, she's doing
Shamrock
tops and
pants.
bottoms. She's rocking tops and bottoms there. You can see these over on thenewsjunkie.com in the dispatches section. Here's another person. They got the Shamrock hat and the fire department Irish shirt, which is looking good. Everybody's celebrating doing their thing. Send yours in over on thenewsjunkie.com. This is Cat BH as well with his Ireland. Oh, and he's got the collared shirt on. He's looking a little fancier here today. The collared shirt, but still representing Ireland for St. Patrick's Day. And then this doesn't bode well for me. Let me bring this up here. This appears to be
You're wearing the leprechaun sketch.
Another Yucker's original. Let's see. Is there audio or no? No.
Oh, wow.
Just me just spilling gold.
Dude, AI is so wild. They made that legal paper drawing into a full mask.
Oh, yeah, it did. It made the little leprechaun drawing into a 3-dimensional mask that I'm wearing.
That's wild.
Wait, do I have a little rat tail?
I think that's just where they tied the mask around the back of your head.
The details.
Yeah, it almost looks like a little rat tail.
You got a
there,
sweet fade back there going on now.
Now I kind of want to see you with a rat tail.
They also I have glasses on, too, in this. I don't know why it's giving me glasses, but there they go. I guess that's got to hold on the mask, right? That's part of the whole mask system. So you can check this out over on the dispatches section of thenewsjunkie.com. Or if you watch over on the stream, you'll probably see this pop up on the Hall of Fame on the side there.
All Day Yuckers has submitted so much footage to AI to make videos of you that the AI probably has a pretty good layout of your house. I think.
Yeah, frighteningly, yes. That's probably the case. That calls for another sip of the Guinness. Now that I even consider that. And,
it is another hour if we're doing it like Andy Cohen style.
Well, you do you. You're over there in your gear, ready for St. Patrick's Day, Sealam. What do you have in your hand? What is that?
This?
Sabrina, yeah, what is that?
It's a tiny Stanley.
That is adorable, actually.
Thank you. Yes.
It's a Stanley that's about 4 inches tall, but it looks like a full-size Stanley.
Look how big my hand looks.
A green one, no less. There you go.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Cheers, everybody. Cheers to St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Look at us go to the Irish and all their issues.
Is that the same beer from this morning?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan.
I say get to the whiskey.
It is, and it's getting a little warm too. It's getting a bit warm to be downing here in the studio.
I think that's how they drink it overseas.
No,
do they like this?
No
I'm
way.
doing my best.
No, warm.
I'm trying to get this down.
Really?
Either that's how they do it, or if you want Guinness on St. Patrick's Day at a bar in Ireland, it's so packed to the gills that they're just pouring them, and they can't keep it cold.
That makes sense. Yeah, logically, it makes sense. I can see that being the case. Oh, Lisa G sends in her pup, one of her dogs, ready for St. Patrick's Day.
Who's like a boy?
He has an Irish hat on, a leprechaun hat, and a beard, an orange beard as a leprechaun, her dog here, and also a bow tie. Because why not, baby? Take it to the top. This is the way you do things. Go check that out over on the dispatches section of thenewsjunkie.com. You'll find it right there.
I used to have something St. Patrick's Day for Lexi. But
no, not anymore? Lexi not fond of when you put her in a costume or something?
She doesn't wear a lot of them.
No. I did see that the president of Ireland, people were yelling at her. They were mad at her because of her the message that she put out for St. Patrick's Day. And all the things that they were mad about, I was like, I didn't even notice these. I didn't even notice that this was a thing. They said she calls St. Patrick, instead of saying St. Patrick, she just says Patrick.
like they're on a first name basis, her and Patrick.
But I didn't. Is that like an offensive thing? I've never heard of that being mad. She calls St. Patrick 4 times, in turn ignoring Ireland's Catholic historical traditions. Then they also got mad at her, this particular person. And by the way, this isn't just some loner on YouTube. This has 2.7 million views, lest you think I'm, nut picking here, which, if you're not aware, is like picking out some crazy. And
I've always found you to be a nut picker.
Acting like the crazy person is representative of a larger movement. This has 2.7 million views, though I don't assume it really represents a large portion of anything. She refuses to wear green, opting for black instead, like a funeral.
Cool.
So, she's the president of. I wouldn't expect the president of Ireland to come out like, oh boy, and like doing an Irish jig, and then she's got a bunch of green outfits on and a little top hat with the beard that Lisa G's dog has with a red beard. I wouldn't think that any of that would be. I don't know. I wouldn't think a president would be doing
hilarious if she just walked out there decked in any amount of free swag that you would get from a bar today.
Jameson, just wearing all the stuff. Then it says she espouses a historically inaccurate version of events, comparing St. Patrick to a migrant. He was a slave, this says, to create a modern-day socialist propaganda speech. Disgraceful.
What about the pot of gold, President?
Let me see. I want to see if this is bad.
The story of Patrick's life serves as a reminder of the resilience and courage of migrants, the invaluable contributions that they have made and continue to make
to
the countries they now call home.
Who decided so they had a head-on shot of the president of Ireland, and now they decided to switch to a shot of a plant.
Put the shrub in the corner. That is not Irish.
With the Irish president in the background. It's like a weird secondary shot. I know it's a visual, but I'm just explaining to everybody else.
Are those shamrocks?
If it is, they're out of focus. We can only see the Irish president.
Even in the face of great adversity. Patrick's story speaks not only to the Ireland of the 5th century, but to the millions still subjected to trafficking, forced labour and displacement today. As we recall
it's boring, and it's not about all the stuff that I think of when I think of St. Patrick's Day, but I would never expect the president of Ireland
she's changing it up
to talk about the things that I think of on St. Patrick's Day.
I would do it maybe day before next day.
I wouldn't expect her to be like, I brought a Guinness with me. And she comes out to her little podium and starts slamming the Guinness and Irish and plays the clip I played at the start of the show. I wouldn't expect that from her. It would be very, very strange, actually.
Can you imagine being
be crazy, but
almost to the point of blacked out drunk on St. Patrick's Day and then hearing this from the president, like, what is going on right now?
I would not know how people actually feel about this, but I'm looking at some of the comments.
They're a lot more likely to say the C word just willy-nilly over there, so
that's true. They do.
You could guess what the response could be.
They do wing that around a bit. It says, excellent summary, Kirk. Our history, landscapes, and customs are all just props for them to sell their progressive open borders politics. Thanks for calling it out. I bet Rosie O'Donnell is thrilled, said somebody. Is Rosie O'Donnell still? I thought she left Ireland. Where?
Let me look at the Lesbian Weekly email.
O'Donnell still in Ireland.
We need a single serve website for that.
Rosie Tracker, 5,000?
AI says yes, but that's as of 2025. The Fox says as of February 13th, she returns to the U.S., but that says for a family visit. So she was just vacationing back in the United States of America. I don't know if she is staying for good or what, but that's the best I can give you right now. One other thing I wanted to share with you real quick. I'm going to put this up on See It Now because it's a pretty interesting photo. Going very viral, one might say. And this is of the auditorium after the Oscars.
Oh, I saw this yesterday.
Yeah, they were trying to show like the celebrities are filthy animals. And
not really.
The celebrities left behind all this trash in the theater, although this looks like it's on the top.
That is a balcony.
This is the balcony where I would imagine it's less of the famous people on the balcony would be my guess.
I think Michael B. Jordan's dad was up there somewhere.
Was he? So the family and friends maybe are up there?
No, his mom was closer, and because they showed his mom, and then he said, "My dad's here too. Dad, where are you?" And there was some shouting, but I don't know that they had a camera ready for him.
They are, just so you know, they all the gift boxes are what most of the trash is. Like they left the gift boxes.
They're all the same. By the way, gift boxes is kind of a loose term. Those boxes that they gave to everyone had a note that was, from Conan O'Brien.
I would have kept that.
Yeah, and I would have kept. They might have kept the note, and it was just a box with like some really generic theater snacks. Like I think there was some gummy bears. There was a bottle of like fancy tap water or flat water, and maybe one or two other things. But that's why all the stuff that's there looks the same. And by the way, I'm pretty sure most theaters, movie, Broadway, theaters like that, if you turn the lights all the way up, it's going to look a little gross.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
It's going to look a little gross. Because, I mean, even if you zoom in on that picture that we were just looking at, I think it's carpeted.
Yeah, I've seen it myself. After you go to a movie and you just look around afterwards, especially if it's a longer movie, and you see, oh my God, this place is filthy, popcorn buckets everywhere, just an absolute mess afterwards. But yeah, hold on. This it says clean up on aisle all, but it is. I can't see if it's messy on the bottom. That would be interesting to see if the celebrities made their area down there just as messy as it was here up on the top. But I put it up for you on See It Now. Go take a look. Go take a peek at it while you get a chance.
The note from Conan O'Brien says, "Dear nominee /+1/seat filler, welcome to the Oscars. I hope you enjoy this Conan O'Brien moderately happy meal. These snacks may not look like much, but in any movie theater, they would run you $85. Good luck tonight. Have fun. And remember that loud, enthusiastic laughter is good for your health and my ego. All the best, Conan," with a little drawing of him. It was a box of Swedish fish, a still water bottle that I don't recognize the brand, and a bag of Skinny Pop.
Oh, here's somebody opening it. This is inside? Hang on. This is somebody opening up one of these.
Oh, it's got the Oscars gold seal on it. That's kind of cool.
Ripped off?
Well, there's the Conan note, a little note Celine just read.
Cute.
With a little doodle. It's got a Conan doodle. It says, "Dear star /seat filler." I like it. Have a great night, Conan. Like Celine wrote.
Oh, wait. That's a different note.
Oh, he hand wrote all of them?
Oh, it's a pretzel.
Oh.
Pretzel, Swedish fish. I mean, not bad. There's some little snacks in there. I would have kept some of that stuff for sure. All right, let us know what you think and celebrate St. Patrick's Day with us here on the show. Send your dispatches over at thenewsjunkie.com. Finally, when we get back, I'll get to the people who have committed a crime, and I'm supporting them. And I think I'll be able to drag you along with, there was a celebrity involved in this. They all got arrested, or some of them are going to be arrested who didn't get arrested on site. And I think they did something good. I honestly think they did something good after reading into this. I'll give you the details. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
No script, no filter, no off switch. Real Radio 104.1. Guaranteed human.
Hello? Hey, everybody. How are you? Good to see you. Origin story? Origin, right? Origin? Sean going to be the one teaching how to do crime in the next segment? Well, maybe. I mean, when I read the story and did a little bit of a dive into what happened here, I said, for the first time in maybe my career, I'm reading a story about somebody getting arrested for something, and I agree with them. I'm not saying that I would have gotten arrested alongside them, But I'm not saying that either. You guys are like Swedish fish? Swedish fish are pretty solid. How are we doing over there, TNJ chat? Huh? TNJ chat over on the website. How are we? We good? Swedish fish are peak. I don't mind them. Kids are on spring break, so I'm forcing my 3 kids to watch TNJ today. Hi, kids. Do you like violence? Hey, Jay Nobles, how are you? Good to have you on board. They say yes, they love violence? Okay. Want to see me stick 9-inch nails through each one of my eyelids? Wait till we get back. Let me see. Oh, I gotta play at some point in time the press conference where they start questioning whether the new Ayatollah is gay. Which is just like the most bizarre back and forth where the members of the press are like, President Trump, what do you have to say to the rumors that the new Ayatollah is gay? And all I could think of was, what if Iran did the old switcheroo? Like Iran really wanted to consolidate the resistance against the Iran war, and Iran made the new Ayatollah like mega gay, full speed gay. What a trick that would be. I mean, they'd probably just throw him off a building, but you know what I mean, right? Not so Slim Shady. Ouch. I'm successfully losing weight because of my exercise and workout regimen. Not really a workout regimen, but I'm running and walking every day. Successfully losing weight, but it's at such a slow pace. I'm losing like a pound a week currently. It's too slow. On the other hand, it's really easy peasy. So I got that going on. Couple minutes and we're back. 52 weeks a year, that's 52 pounds a year? That's true. The math works out. 52, but if I drop 52 pounds, I think you would all think I was way, way, way too skinny. I'm at 210. Down from 215. I'm at 210. And I want to be at like probably 190. That's where I think I'd like to be. Sean, I was on GLP-1s and only lost 1 pound per week. Man, maybe I'm closer to like half a pound a week then? Is that normal? Maybe that's normal. Like, you're probably not supposed to drop 5 pounds a week, right? Oh, never mind. Sun State John says lost 20 pounds in 4 weeks. Holy cow. Good for you, buddy. All right, we're coming back.
Some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex saline from Vicks.
Sinex saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultrafine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
2 words. Prostate exam. Did your butt just clench? Relax. Screening starts with a simple, finger-free blood test. Around 1 in 8 men in the United States will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. But don't clench. Prostate cancer can have over a 99% 5-year relative survival rate when caught at a localized or regional stage. If you're 40 or older and have a prostate, visit RelaxIt'sABloodTest.com to see if a PSA blood test is right for you. Talk to your doctor about screening and next steps. Sponsored by Novartis.
The free iHeartRadio app.
240 weeks and Sean will be gone. LOL.
Like the Beatles now and then. Celebrating all things Beatles. Legendary clips, deep cuts, live performances, and all their solo hits. Listen commercial free. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Beatles Now and Then, and make it your next preset.
iHeartRadio.
Dispensing unsolicited advice on a wide range of pointless topics.
Newsroom, and I'll get into a crime that I support. These people have committed a crime, and I am on their side. I didn't think I would be, but I absolutely am. I'll get into that in just a moment. Almost didn't get to do the show today. Another catastrophe. After the show yesterday, I go, I got the podcast done. I got all this stuff ready. And then I said to Courtney, as I often do, I'm like, all right, I'm going out for a run. And then I'm about to leave the front door. And I swear to God, as I swung the front door of my house open, I heard the transformer in the neighborhood blow. Like as the front door swings open, I hear boom! And I go, oh my God. Oh. And I said, what was that? And I ducked down to look back in the front door in like the area where you could see in. And I saw that the aquarium was still on, but I was like, oh, that's got battery backup and stuff. And I realized, oh, the power just went out. Like literally, as I opened the door, the transformer busted.
It was rough all around town. I mean, the wind was super high. Weirdly, not as much rain as I thought there would be, but there was plenty.
Yeah,
but the wind was crazy yesterday.
It was pretty bad out there. And then when that went down, all of a sudden there's a big network server that I use to run my studio. And the network server went down for the count. And I talked to Austin, and Austin goes like, I gotta work until like 2, and then I gotta wake up at 7 and do more work. And I go, oh, forget it, man. I'm gonna try to figure this out. Somehow, some way, with the help of a little AI, I was able to get things back up and running. But I thought for sure, I was like, I screwed it up. Well, it wasn't me, really. But I thought something broke big and we weren't going to be able to do the show today. But thankfully, that's up and running and all is well. The studio's trying to crumble around me, but I continue to get it stronger than it was before. At least that's the way it seems to be right now. Now, let's talk about this crime, because this is a true story. And after reading about this, I said, I support these people. In fact, how could you not support these people? Here's the deal. Here's what happened. An actress from Baywatch, Alexandra Paul, she got arrested in Wisconsin. This happened over the weekend. She got arrested in Wisconsin. I support her, and I support the people who are with her, 20 other people who got arrested. I don't often end up on the same side as animal rights activists. Now, you might say, well, what, don't you like animals, Sean? I love animals. I would never hurt an animal on purpose, okay? I would never, ever, ever do this. I love animals. I love my dog. We have a cat, Junkie Cat. Love animals. Would never want to do anything to hurt these animals on purpose. But
generally when people identify
and you
themselves,
would never hurt an animal on accident either, right?
We all do from time to time.
No, we don't all do that from time to time.
Animals big and small, you might be stepping on them. You might not even know, little tiny ones, or hitting them with your car sometimes. And I would not do it on purpose. But when somebody says to me, I'm an animal rights activist, there's usually a lot packed into that. Just the word activist. Usually you're pretty far out there. There's not a lot of people who are like, yeah, I'm an animal rights activist, and I believe that we should treat our dogs well, and we should make sure we're giving our animals optimal lives. No, they're usually like, here's what I believe. It's very, very intense. It's like an activism thing. But I absolutely agree with these animal rights protesters who went along with 62-year-old actress Alexandra Paul from Baywatch and busted into a facility on Sunday morning. Now, they all were wearing these white suits like they were protected from some sort of meth lab or something.
Like a hazmat?
Like a white hazmat suit, Sabrina. Yeah, they put these hazmat suits on, and they busted into this place, and inside were rows and rows and rows of beagles, the type of dog. And the beagles are just sitting in these rows, one after another, after another, after another. And they bust the beagles out, and they literally pick them up one apiece, and they run out of the facility with the beagles to bring them somewhere and give them some freedom or something, right? And I go, well, what's going on here? Why are they doing this? What are these people up to? And I hear that this is a place called Ridgeland Dogs, RIDGLAN. All right, Ridgeland Dogs, Ridgeland Farms is the name of the actual facility. And this is a facility where they purposely breed beagles solely for the purpose of selling them for experimentation.
And that's okay?
They sell them off to places that then test medicines and all sorts of things on these poor beagles. And Sam on YouTube says it's a puppy mill. Worse, it's a puppy mill specifically to breed animals to be tested on down the road.
That's awful.
And in a court of law, they already argued that what was happening with the beagles at this facility, Ridgeland Farms, was unlawful. They said that this was inhumane and unlawful, and they ordered them to free all of these beagles by May 1st. And I think the activists have a really good point when they say something here. They said, if what they're doing right now is wrong and inhumane and illegal, why are we going to wait until May 1st to release the dogs from this situation?
Like, you don't think they're going to get all of their last minute testing done on the poor beagles?
Well, I think that these folks were right to do this morally, not legally.
They're not the ones doing the testing. It's I mean, yes, we should be concerned about what's going on at this Ridgeland Farms. We should also be concerned about their customer list.
That's what the issue is. What happens to the dogs after they're raised that way? But even the facility was determined to be inhumane by a court of law, and the court somehow said, like, all right, see if you can fix that up by May 1st or sometime in May. And these people said, well, no, if it's wrong in May, it's wrong right now. Let the dogs go. We'll take the dogs. We'll take these dogs and we'll home them or do whatever we have to do. They've all been arrested, all the people who were involved in this, including the Baywatch actress.
Their website claims we are a USDA Class A dog breeder, as well as a USDA licensed Class R research facility. We're committed to the highest standards of health and quality, which is backed by our AAALAC, whatever the hell that is. International Accreditation for Animal Care and Welfare.
Yeah, right.
Well, they just hand those things out?
I'm telling you, ALAC? After reading about some of the sand flea and other tests that they do on these kind of beagles and the way that they do these things to them, I'm not only not for that, but if a court said this was inhumane and the way that they were treating them was against the law, I think grabbing them now is A-okay with me. So it might have been against the law, but I'm for it as far as I can see here. They said the 90s SAR, that's this Alexandra Paul from Baywatch, and roughly 60 fellow activists, all clad in white protective suits.
Damn, 60 people.
Yep. Were filmed breaking into the facility Sunday morning and clutching the pooches tightly as they filed out. And see if you can find out how many dogs are in that facility, because the number was
broke
pretty
out
high.
30 dogs.
They broke out 30, but there was a lot more, I think, too. I believe there was more.
Do you think Pam Anderson's so mad that she wasn't involved, considering how much she loves animal activism?
She usually is tied to things like this. I'm sure she would support it. I do. I want to know if you do. Let us know. Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com, thenewsjunkie.com, or email the show, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. When we come back, the next episode with Sabrina, what's coming up on the next episode?
What's coming up on the next episode? Free Beagles. Vinyl record sales hit record numbers for the first time since the 1980s, and Vinnie Vincent hits record cuckoo for the first time since the 1980s. Plus, Jenny, I got your number, but now you need to make some time to go get checked for cancer. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James McGill and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.
Hello, everybody. Welcome behind the scenes. Skull mic activate. Papa says, sorry, but 2 wrongs don't make a right. Chat, do you agree or disagree? Was what they did wrong, not illegal, not illegal. This is a moral designation. Was what they did to free these animals from a puppy mill where they were in a pipeline headed to be tested on, when the courts already ruled that this was an inhumane facility, was what they did morally right or wrong? Right or wrong is fine in chat. Release the pups, I'm saving the dogs. Rescuing dogs is never wrong. It's a right. Yeah, I mean, I know it's illegal. But as I've said many times on the show, I really don't care what's illegal and what's not illegal. I care about my framework for viewing the world, which is something based on being an individualist, something that is based on what is morally right, morally wrong, and about things that bring out the best outcomes to the most amount of people. And I think freeing animals from a pipeline of actual legitimate torture, not cows who are going to be in the dairy industry, not cows who are being treated up to standards, even if you don't like them, at some sort of facility where they'll eventually be butchered, not chickens on a farm, not anything like that, but animals that will be used for testing of products for the beauty industry. They'll put stuff on their skin to see how they react to it. They'll pin the dogs down. I happen to think it's a morally right thing to free those dogs, just like those dogs were people in some prison somewhere where they were going to torture them. And these dogs didn't do anything wrong. What the place was doing was sick? True. Would rather the testing be on humans? Why are you insinuating that those are the only 2 options? Is that what you think is the only 2 options? We must test things on humans or we must test them on dogs? Because I disagree. Freeing them was right. Yeah, me too. Test convicts instead? Oof. Radical but interesting take. Radical but interesting take has arrived. All right, we're coming back, everybody.
Colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Contractors and homeowners, installing a metal roof? Don't leave money on the table. Register your Tri-County Metals Factory Direct Rebate for up to $500 back at TriCountyMetals.com.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Real number one on radio.
No one's really sure what all C-Lane's buttons actually do. This is the News Junk.
All things happening in the world of entertainment and beyond. Thanks for hanging out with us. I'd love for you to take a moment and go over to check out the website, which is at thenewsjunkie.com. I saw a lot of you were even trying yesterday. A lot of you were checking out the beta version of chat over on thenewsjunkie.com/chat. It's very, very beta. It's just being developed, but I like that people are poking in there and testing some things out. You can add each other. You can talk back and forth. If you miss somebody adding you and sending you a message on chat, you can see that by clicking the button there next to messages. Lots of new features launching there and a lot more to come. So go check that out when you get a chance if you want to poke in at thenewsjunkie.com/chat. All right, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
Bring back Kathy and Judy. I love them so much.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina.
Hey, smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Don, thatmortgagiguydon.com, and the Home Loans Radio Show. Looking to refinance? Maybe find yourself a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, especially if that pot of gold is money you left on the table from not comparing your first mortgage quote. Work with That Mortgage Guy Don. He's an expert. He's your friend. He makes the process easy, and he's really cool to hang out with. So start all of those things and so much more by going to thatmortgageguydon.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgageguydon.com.
Oh, the mortgage guy.
And per St. Patrick's Day tradition, it was 21 years ago on this day, 2005, that this gal right here.
Missy.
She's not big. She's
Lil' Kim.
Lil' Kim is correct. And in 2005, Lil' Kim was convicted of how the Irish say federal perjury charges.
Oh.
For lying to a grand jury about a 2001 shootout that went down outside a Manhattan radio station, Hot 97.
Man, radio stations were dangerous back then.
Yeah, good luck. You've got an iPad to check into if you. Anyways, she was sentenced to a year and 1 day and was not a little rat. So there you have it. Now let's fast forward to 2026. We got the biopic coming up.
Oh, Michael Jackson.
And with feature films as of the last couple years, what else is attached to big movies and their premiere and a hot item that maybe you could put...
Michael Jackson popcorn bucket?
Yeah, that is correct.
Was it just like his head or something? That's weird.
Oh, kind of. It's the fedora that was on his head. Fedora-shaped popcorn and a gold album popcorn tin. I sent you the link in the group chat.
Okay.
If you want to peep it, both items have surfaced ahead of the film's opening date, already drawing a lot of attention from collectors of popcorn buckets or Michael Jackson stuff. I think they could have done better. Maybe a glove. The glove would have been cool.
So the gold record is just the top of a bucket. So you just took like a bucket top and made it gold, and that's it. And then the hat
You want to
is
eat
just...
popcorn?
I mean, it's just a hat. You flip it upside down, you put popcorn in it.
Now, can you wear it?
Maybe my expectations are high because I've seen the Dune popcorn bucket and all the other crazy ones that they've done that have been so cool.
But
Can you bang it?
The cups there are perfect for your Jesus juice, I think. You know,
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
For everything currently happening in the theater collectibles, we have Super Mario Galaxy movie popcorn bucket that was also very hype. The Dune bucket, as Sean mentioned, which I believe still is the number one most bangable popcorn bucket, if my records reflect properly.
They're your records.
Yeah.
The Fedora popcorn bucket will be available when that movie comes out, which is opening April 24th, 2026. And let's move on because he's off the market. Sorry. Gimme fuel. Gimme fire. Gimme your hand in marriage.
Metallica.
And it is ridiculous. And forgive me because I did not send it in time. C-Lane, can you do me a solid? Look up James Hetfield proposing to his girlfriend.
This one here?
In a Shark
real?
Tank. Yeah.
Oh, they're in a Shark Tank? I just see them. When I saw this earlier, I could just see them wearing masks and look like they're in the ocean or something.
Full underwater during a shark dive. He proposed to his longtime girlfriend, Adriana Gillette.
Okay.
Not sure if she's from the Shaver Razor family. Unclear where they were, besides underwater and surrounded by sharks, but it was whale sharks, and they are considered gentle giants.
Is it weird that he put her first and last name on there?
Yeah. But it looks different than where he wrote "Will you marry me" on the bottom, and then he wrote her name on top.
Oh, I was hoping audio of him like.
No, I don't know if that exists.
The caption is so dumb. In a sea full of fish, we caught each other.
Oh,
rock and roll.
It kind of like just a little bit for the day lessens his rock star persona.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, James Hetfield just puffs a cigar and watches the fireworks while Lars does the drum solo
and spits on people.
The man of all men when he's doing that, and then the sea of fish we caught each other. You're like, ugh.
So you're saying it should have been "Give me fuel, give me fire, give me your hand in marriage," just to make it part of a rock song, a little edgier would have been better.
Could have been
brilliant.
No, there's no way to do it right. It's not. It's not going to be Metallica cool. He likes her.
Well, guess what? We're getting older. He likes her big time, and I don't know if I like this.
Give me fuel, give me fire, sign this prenuptial agreement.
Also, you can't have my last name. Yeah. 867-5309. Whose number?
Tommy. Jenny's.
That is Jenny's number. And unfortunately, some bad news for Jenny fans after so many years. It will not connect you to Jenny. It will be connecting you to cancer help.
Yeah.
You ready?
I mean, it's catchy. People know the number.
Cancer support group in one area code at least. If you dial, and I don't know, they put CSC. You know, CSC on the number pad. 272 for those unfamiliar with texting back in the day. 867-5309. You'll be able to talk to a professional at the cancer support community. Tommy Heath of the band Tommy Two-Tone says he's proud to be a part of the effort. And
I did not know that was a band name. I thought Tommy Two-Tone was just the guy's persona name.
No, Tommy Heath. He's all about the health, and he is part of the cancer support community. Number attached, or used to be, to Jenny, because he dealt with a minor bout of skin cancer back in the day. He says, I'm out on tour with a lot of bands, and suddenly someone's not there. Cancer is affecting us all. Anyone check up on Jenny?
No word.
I think she changed her number.
Mm-hmm.
On the boob tube, we've got basketball. Good luck to NCAA, UMBC, Howard, Texas, and NC State on True TV. We also have professional basketball. Go Bucks, Cavaliers, Kings, and Spurs. 17th season premiere of 7 Little Johnstons. Are they little anymore? We also have stand-up special Mark Norman, None Too Pleased on Netflix. And you can catch Chelsea Handler on Kimmel. Follow your dreams and me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra. Most importantly, stay with me, America.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina. I'm always interested in some of the unhinged emails that come in where I sit there for a moment.
Sometime?
No, it's not that guy who emails all the time, though he is entertaining in a way. And it's inconsistent in a way.
Yeah.
But this is, like, whenever I get an email like this to tips@thenewsjunkie.com, I'm like, I sit there and it's almost a fun little game to try to figure out what the hell they're talking about. Somebody emailed and they said, global pizza chain goes bankrupt. And then the email is, Domino's Pizza has not gone bankrupt. It's just one of its franchises, you lying effing pieces of S. And I'm like, sir, what are you talking about? No one ever said that on this show. Guarantee you, nobody ever said that on this show.
I said that Burger King was pulling a Domino's in as much as Domino's was tanking. They were among the list of worst pizza places. And then they said, hey, what's wrong with us? Let's see what everybody says about us and let's make ourselves better, which they did. And they were really good after that.
Right. All that is accurate. All that is true.
And then they filed for bankruptcy.
That part's not.
I think we should keep going on.
So it's so dumb. I don't understand. People send these emails, and it's like this combination that I've been talking about of loud, dumb, and wrong. The combination of loud, dumb, and wrong. This via email, of course. But it's like, Domino's Pizza is not going to bankrupt. Just one of its franchises. You lying effing pieces of ass. It's like, damn, bro, you exploded, and you have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea what your connection to any of this is.
But do I have enough time in this commercial break to find out his connection to Domino's? Because there's a passion behind that.
Maybe, yeah. Also, Jonathan emails tips@thenewsjunkie.com. He says, Sub Junkies, I'm sure you guys realize this, but Sabrina sounded shocked and appalled about these dogs/animals being used for experimentation. All sorts of animals get used for tests on medication and other things every day. All these medicines that we use get tested on animals first before they're allowed to do human trials. I don't like it either, but it has to be done, and it does happen every day. I don't know that that's the truth. I think there are many things that we have as breakthrough medicines and products every single day that didn't go through any sort of tested on animals part of their life cycle. In fact, the idea that we need to do this, like we hate it. I hate it as much as you do, but we still have to do it, Sean. We still have to test on animals. Is something that's going to be seen as so dated in probably the next 5 years. With the ability to use artificial intelligence for various things, it will be very clear in the short run that you do not have to do things like that. It's even clear right now. Like I said, there's many different things out there, medicines and other things that are launched every single year that you use, that you rely on, that were big breakthroughs that had nothing to do with testing on dogs or animals or monkeys or anything like that. It's just not true that is something that has to be done. It is true that we need humans to be the guinea pigs.
I know a lot of people that have made some decent money being the human guinea pigs for it.
My mom used to do it.
Yeah.
I signed up for the trial when it was the vaccine for COVID. Of course, I got water. I got the placebo. I didn't get the actual
good
shot.
For you. You'd probably be dead by now.
Probably, yeah. Or maybe that explains what happened to me afterwards. But that is just not true. It's like, this is the nature of the beast. We just have to do it. I don't believe that we have to now. I don't believe that that's part of our future. And I fundamentally, morally believe it is a wrong to harm animals, even if for the advancement of human beings. I think that's an easy place to put your foot down. But hey, that's just me. You be you. Thanks for the email, Jonathan. tips@thenewsjunkie.com with yours. We'll get into more of your dispatches. We got some more St. Patrick's Day get-ups that are popping through here. I love them. They're very, very good. And we'll get to more of those. I also want to talk about, there's a really interesting twist that I want to put in jury duty. Now, I didn't know that this would be a possibility, but there's somebody that's facing jail probably for the rest of their lives, and they just came up with the most clever way to avoid jail. I'm going to talk about that. We'll get into it. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Make Real Radio Radio 104.1, number one on your presets on our all-new iHeartRadio app and get cool stuff at Real Radio events. Get the app for free in your app store.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
The roadways by the beaches are going to be busier than normal. We got people on vacation, from school, from work. I-4, there's nothing unfamiliar you'll run into. Nothing's tying you up or slowing you down. There's a crash on the ramp from Florida's Turnpike to Orange Blossom.
Hello, hello. Cheers, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day. So good to see you. But yet, Sean proudly wears his eyeliner tested on what? Do I look like I'm wearing eyeliner to you? Is it your guess that I've ever had eyeliner on in my entire life? No, I have not. No. Yes, it is your guess? Well, you'd be wrong again, Unfettered, but that's sort of just the default mode for you, isn't it? You'd be wrong again. Guy liner? No. I don't care if you give it by another name. Chat, anybody, I know this is kind of obscure still. Anybody watched any of the episodes of DTF St. Louis, the new television show? Anybody? DTF St. Louis. Yeah, back in your Chasing Edmund days? Not even then. Not even then. DTF St. Louis. No, is it good? I couldn't get into it? Interesting. Anna, why not? Why could you not get into it? Tell me what was the hang-up for you. What's up, junkies? Can I get help getting into beta chat? It says failed to register. When you do what? Can you email me? tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Tell me what you're doing that gets that response.
Oh, I got you new eyeliner.
I don't have eyeliner. Shut up. Jerk. Get out of here. Kick you. Did you go to Publix too? How much did you spend at Publix? $230.
$230? I have to get dog food and other stuff.
You think money just grows on trees? Where's the money tree?
You.
I'm not the money tree. You got a money tree out there.
Yeah.
It's a very impressive money tree, actually. One of the best I've seen. Tell me where there's an alpha chat. Thank you, ex-swimmer. Yeah, I mean, I did hear another person, I think, say that they were having some sort of issue like that. It must be like I don't know if you created an account and then didn't have a password to it or something, but I built a couple extra things yesterday. So if there's a username that you lost because you didn't put a password to it, I can free that username back up, so that may have happened to you. I'll take a look at the email. DTF St. Louis. I have my thoughts on who killed the guy. No spoilers. Missy says, I went back to my original browser and tried to get in just under Missy like yesterday and got failed to register. I sent the email already. Okay, I'll look at both of those. Missy, did you create a password with your account or no? Did you create a password with your account or no the first time? It could be it could be you forgot to create a password. So you created it, but you didn't create a password to password protect the account, which is fine. But if you then want that account back, you have to tell me which one it is so I can get rid of it. 3 minutes. I want to see it, but I wasn't sure if it's going to be good to watch. I answered you earlier when you were with Dortney dashing. I found DTF boring and the character is uninteresting. Okay, I can understand that. Yes. I can understand boring and I can understand the characters being uninteresting. I think you're accurate in both of those. I think the only reason I'm muscling through what you're saying is because I am such a sucker for a whodunit. Like, I'm such a dope for a whodunit that it could be the worst whodunit in the world, and I'm still like, well, who was it? Who is Cartman's mother? Tell us, please. I mean, I agree. I agree with your assessment on that. I think the characters are weak, and it's slow, and there's not a lot of likable people at all. Save for maybe the dead guy. It needed to be a movie, not a show. Maybe. I like the cop. Sean, you going to sign that contract or what? I haven't heard anything back from the suits at iHeart at all. Well, yesterday was 109 days or something, so I guess that puts us at 100 and something days today. Yeah, I mean, I got no news for you. I finally watched Sinners. That was a good movie. Now, here's the thing. With the movie Sinners, it got a lot of heat because people said they thought it was a ripoff of From Dusk Till Dawn. And I have heard a lot of people in the horror world say that this whole movie was just a big ripoff of From Dusk Till Dawn. They keep talking about how it was an original screenplay, an original movie idea, and it did so well. But really, it was based on From Dusk Till Dawn. And I think it seems like it was inspired by From Dusk Till Dawn, but I think it was clever enough and unique enough on its own. And I do think, like, if you have a really nice TV and you want to watch a movie that really showcases your TV, it is a beautifully shot movie. So I like just that about it, too. Crazy. Ooh, it's cold in here. Well, nipply.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Accidents happen, but Mo's here to help. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. Join in on the chaos. We eagerly await your dispatch. This is...
Most viral newsroom, wide open to you. Forget the same three songs over and over and over. Hang out, get to know us a little bit, learn more about the show over on the website, which, of course, is at thenewsjunkie.com. Got some clips for you in a second I want to play. And also, somebody who pulled the ultimate Uno switch card when the cops are trying to put them behind bars for maybe the rest of their lives. And they said, bam!
Draw four, coppers.
They threw down an Uno switch card that I think you'll appreciate, C-Lane. I don't know what to do with this now, but we will talk about that story.
Is this something
here in just a bit
we could learn from?
I mean, it's a clever move. So I always think about when, like, let's say you have, let's just get into the story. We'll do it real quick.
All right.
I always think about stories like this, and I go, let's say you're an attorney, and somebody comes to you and you go, oh, God, you're not a great client to have. You are. Casey Anthony, how did you wander into my office here? Oh, boy.
I work at Universal.
And then you got to think, well, that person deserves representation. And I even want the bad guys to have good representation. I want people to get their day in court. Our justice system, I think, by and large, is pretty good and mostly fair. Not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but mostly fair. And I think that it relies on a lot of these attorneys who defend the bad guys, and some of them are friggin' genius. Some of these attorneys, like the bad guy comes in
and goes, hey, look, you might have heard about me on the news. Here's what they're alleging I did, and I need a defense for this. And some of the attorneys are like, a defense? And they crack their knuckles, and they come up with the craziest defense you've ever heard of. One of the people that has ended up in this scenario is a guy named Brian Cole Jr. And I'm sure most of you will hear Brian Cole Jr. and be like, what does that mean? I have no idea who that is. Well, you might know this person from what they are alleged to have done. And they're the alleged person who put the pipe bombs in the Capitol. For like at the DNC and the RNC when they found the pipe bombs. And then forever, there was like a lot of really weird security footage of somebody in a hoodie walking around and covering themselves up and wearing a mask, et cetera, et cetera. They had no clue who this person was forever. They were trying to track them back and figure out who they were. But it was very much like the Guthrie case where it seemingly went nowhere, even though there was security footage of this person. We couldn't figure out where they came from. And then the website The Blaze came out, and they said that it was, I think they said it was some woman.
Yeah.
And they said, we've done a
and they
test
named
of her. Yeah, here's her name. And because of the way that she walks and because of the way that the DC pipe bomber walks, we've determined it's the same person. They're still probably going to get screwed for that. But they waited, and a while later, they arrested this guy for putting these pipe bombs at the DNC and the RNC. And his name's Brian Cole Jr. And so just like a lot of other hated people or people who are probably facing a lot of time behind bars, he gets some attorneys. And the attorneys go, I appreciate that you have brought these charges against my client. And I appreciate that you're going to try to put him behind bars for quite some time. But I'd like to present to you that President Trump issued a pardon. It was a full, complete, and unconditional pardon to people convicted of crimes tied to events at or near the Capitol on January 6th.
Oh, wow.
No way.
And they said, even though he hasn't been convicted, his lawyers say the language plainly shields him because his alleged conduct was inextricably tethered to that day. The White House says the pardon clearly does not cover this scenario.
Doesn't it?
I don't know who's right or wrong, but isn't that a solid strategy for the attorneys of this guy?
Took a lot of research, or ChatGPT was like, other things that happened on this day besides the murder.
Like, look, this guy, you know, might fall in under the blanket pardon that was given for the Jan 6 people because it was January 6th that they found the pipe bombs, and that's the defense that his attorneys are going to use. And yeah, the White House says clearly this does not cover this scenario. For one thing, the bombs were allegedly placed on January 5th, but Cole's attorneys argue that some of those convicted and granted clemency were, like him, accused of transporting weapons into Washington ahead of January 6th, per NBC News. Lawyers add that Cole, like other January 6th defendants, was motivated by grievances about the 2020 presidential election and is alleged to have directed his ire at Capitol Hill in time with the January 6th certification of the Electoral College vote. The administration is expected to fight the motion, even as it has pushed an expansive reading of the clemency order. So,
is this going to go to a jury trial? Because that kind of argument is going to put into some of the jury members beyond reasonable doubt.
I mean, it's kind of interesting because if I was a juror and they said, well, I don't need you to think about anything other than this. There is a pardon, right? The pardon is for anybody that is charged with something that happened on this day for this event.
So I have the pardon text up.
Okay.
And it says, commute the sentences of the following individuals convicted of offenses related to events that occurred, blah, blah, blah. And then it lists a bunch of people. That's section.
Hold on one second real quick, Celia. Florida Scratcher on YouTube says, well, first of all, he planted bombs. He didn't storm a building. Go ahead. Let's see if this says anything about storming a building. I
so
it up.
Section A had a list of people who I believe, it says commute the sentences of the following individuals convicted of offenses related to the events to time served as of January 20th. And there's a list of people who are in jail or whatever. Then Section B, and I think this is the very important part, grant a full, complete, and unconditional pardon to all other individuals convicted of offenses related to events that occurred at or near the United States Capitol.
Come on.
on January 6th, 2021. Hell, you could argue that if you robbed the liquor store across from the Capitol, that happened.
Yeah.
It's a very wide berth as far as pardons go.
Like, it might not work, but it's a pretty good strategy. Like, folks, take the politics out of it completely. If you're an attorney, the guy comes in, the feds are accusing him of putting pipe bombs at the Capitol, and they've put this case up against this guy, and they want to send him away for a very long time. It's a pretty clever legal strategy to be like, hey, you already issued a pardon for things that happened around this.
Now, here's the thing, though. It says individuals convicted of offenses. Does that mean already convicted?
Well,
has there been any precedent set that said somebody who was convicted after this pardon was issued, which was blah blah blah, January 20th, 2025?
I mean, I would think that the intent would be anybody who is convicted of it, even after this moment, because if you were
still in court for it, or maybe,
yeah, you could have been in court, or they could go, okay, well, we had to free all these people because of the pardon, but now we're going to launch charges against 10 more people for the same exact thing, even though there's been a pardon on this. So I feel like that should apply to people in the future. Now, I would argue this guy's motivation was completely and totally different. This was a completely and totally different crime that this guy was a part of.
I don't think it matters.
By the way, one of the key things I would argue is this guy had no idea the crime that was going to actually occur on January 6th. That was not part of his planning process at all.
I don't think it matters.
I mean, I've already admitted it's a good strategy. I think it's interesting. I think it's an interesting strategy. We can put it on the move.
All other individuals convicted of offenses related to events that occurred at or near. This just says events. I mean, events is a lot of events.
Well,
I'm having an event right now.
Over in chat, what do you think? Should this apply to the guy who was putting down these pipe bombs? Or I mean, more importantly, is this a good strategy?
What do you think?
I think it's a great strategy.
Do you think it should work?
I think it's going to be tough. I don't know how, because I'm no legal scholar. I don't know how to interpret pardons in this way.
I'm no fan of bombings, but I mean, I think this is. I think it should work. I think now I'm kind of rooting on this guy. I don't know.
I think he's got a good chance. I'm not rooting for the pipe bomber, unlike Sealand, but I think
no pipe bomb. Same here. But he found some very interesting, what seems to be good defense attorneys. We'll see when it actually goes to court.
Now keep him on a list somewhere. Make sure we're watching over this guy.
But the rest of it would have been that they go, well, you got it wrong. You have the wrong guy. It wasn't really him. And they were focused on that. They're just saying, forget your case. Forget anything. All I need to know is if this pardon applies also to my client, because if it does, see you later, alligator. We don't need to have anything here.
Could you imagine the mind F and possible outrage that would be going on right now if one of those bombs had exploded?
Like, if people died as a result, and because of that,
people died as a result of the things that
yeah.
Say it.
But more so, if this would have blown up, most of the people, if I recall correctly, were there was like suicides and people who had like heart attacks and stuff for the January 6th related thing. If somebody literally blew up because of this guy's pipe bomb, or a bunch of people did, and it killed a bunch of people, then it was like, hey, actually, you can't take C's back C's a pardon. Because I don't know that you can, right? If you issue a pardon, I don't think you can rescind a pardon. I think the pardon, like, you've released it, unleashed it into the legal world. But I don't know. Let us know what you think about that. Send us a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com.
That's another weird argument you're making right now because, whether or not you can rescind a pardon, there has been argument by the president that Joe Biden's pardons shouldn't be valid because they were signed with an auto pen, and that they should rescind all those pardons. So, I mean, he could argue that you can rescind a pardon, and he would rescind this one. I don't know, man. It's a really weird.
What if Trump says, actually, I used an auto pen on that one, so we are going to have to overturn that. I'll write a new one, and I'll be specific, and I'll go, this applies to everybody except for the pipe bomb guy. Just so you know, he's not involved in this. We'll see what you think about this. Again, all of the politics out of it, it's just sort of an interesting legal jujitsu strategy that they're utilizing here, which I think is kind of smart on their part. All right, let's go over to, we could do some dispatches here in a moment. We'll work some of those in the show. I got a lot more people showing off their St. Patrick's Day gear, too. Here is, let's see, here's Sharkbait talking about St. Patrick's Day.
Good morning, junkies. What's happening?
Hey.
Man, I am so happy to have today off. I wish there were some St. Patrick's Day things going on, but I know I missed that over the weekend. Today is my first official day off from both of my jobs in 23 days.
Nice.
So I slept in, and now I'm going to go to my local bar, and I'm going to drink. So happy today. Goodbye.
I was going to say, there's plenty of things going on just because it's not the weekend. I mean, there are myriad bars that just opened in the morning just because it's today. And there'll be plenty of places that will welcome you with open arms.
Yeah, there's always a place on St. Patrick's Day. There's a damn countdown timer on a lot of bars just every single hour and second until it gets there. There's places that are ready for you. I wanted to share this real quick, and we'll get into some of the clips I've got for you in a moment here because I got a lot of viral clips too. But speaking of viral, this has exploded. 8.3 million views for this post. 8.3 million views. And I want to know, this is going directly to parents out there, and maybe just people in relationships, generally speaking, if you have done this. So this woman says online in a view with 8.3 post with 8.3 million views, she says, "My daughter texted me from a party. She said in the text message, 'Mom, do we still have ice cream at home?' We don't. That's the code. Ice cream means come get me right now. Cookies means call me in 5 minutes with an excuse. Nothing means I'm okay." She said ice cream, this mom says. "I didn't ask questions. I didn't text back. I just grabbed my keys and drove. When she got in the car, she said quietly, people started bringing out things I didn't want to be around." I guess at this party she was at. "We drove home in silence. Every kid deserves a way out without having to explain themselves first." And so she's saying, like, she made a deal with her kid where I'm going to text you and it'll be like a code in it. And in the code, if you get this, you're agreeing that if you pick me up, no questions asked. Like, you're not going to question me. You're just going to pick me up because I'm telling you this is a bad situation, one that I want to get out of, but I also don't want to get in trouble for it. And she says, I didn't ask any questions. I didn't text back. I went and picked her up, and we drove home in silence. And I wonder, how many of have secret codes like this for situations
I didn't
similar
have
to this?
a code like that, but it was if anyone came up to you when I was little, like something's wrong with your parents, or I'm here to pick you up. There was a code word.
Oh, that they had to say to you?
Was supposed to know.
So there was a code word that your parents would have to transmit through anybody who was going to pick you up in an emergency.
Yeah, and I feel like it was the dog's name or something like that. Never got abducted or had a stranger give me the code word, but it was a thing. And I do remember also parents offering, I'll come pick you up, no questions asked. But we didn't have texting back then.
I don't know if there was a no questions asked.
Yeah, I was going to say, my parents wouldn't have done the no questions asked. They'd be like, we're still going to talk about it, but you won't be in too much trouble.
My mom said, if there's ever a situation that I don't feel comfortable in, or especially if there is a situation where you're trying to get home from somewhere or you're trying to get back to somebody's house from somewhere, and the person that's driving, you don't trust them, to be sober. Just call me, I'll come pick you up. I don't know that there was a no questions asked thing. I think it would be hard to say that as a parent and then sit there and not actually ask the questions.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is that you don't get in trouble, I guess. There's a lot of people chiming in on this. Somebody says, telling the kiddos that mommy and daddy are going to the bedroom to pay the bills. Kevin, that's not what I'm talking about. It's different. I'm talking about, and this might be something you have with your partner too, like your wife, your husband, whatever.
Safe
you
word,
might,
yeah.
You might have one of these things where if you go up to them and you go, we're going to be playing shuffleboard one of these days. And shuffleboard is something where you go, that means I want to leave. I don't want to be at the place anymore. I find it to be awkward. There's somebody there I don't want to be around. I'm uncomfortable.
See, women just have the eyes. And even with your girl group, where we just look at each other, and that means let's leave right now. Or get this creep away from the circle of the gals gabbing.
This mother says it was the code with her daughter that helped her out in this case. 8.3 million views. And some of the responses were like this. Here's one of the more popular responses. Why the F can't she just text you to come and get her now? Somebody says, when my daughters were somewhere they didn't like, they texted, please come get me. These people are retarded. Works just as well. Do her friends watch her text or something? Why all the secret codes? What kind of people is your daughter hanging out with that she needs secret codes? Somebody pointing out that the account's based in Southeast Asia. I don't know if that's true or not. OBS, why can't she just text you? Come get me. Ain't nobody reading her text. This is a straight lie. Clickbait, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why I wanted to bring it to everybody to go.
Is the account based in Southeast Asia?
Oh, I don't know. I can find out. I want to ask you, are you actually doing this with your kids? Do you have these sorts of codes? It does say account based in Southeast Asia.
I would rather my mom ask me the questions than post about this and it goes viral with how many millions of views and comments. So
a lot of commentary on this. But I'm interested in two fronts. One, do you actually have these kind of code words with your kids? And two, why the code words? Why can't they just say, hey, come pick me up right now. I need your help. That kind of thing. Mel on YouTube says, we never had no questions asked, but if my kids ever asked, I would get them from any situation. Usually my kid would spill the beans without being asked. That's the relationship that you form with the kid that actually is a smart, good one. That's the like, if you tell your kids, like Dylan would tell me, like, I got in trouble for this or I did this. And I never once would, as him being my son, come at it from like this weird, angry parent level. I'd just be like, how can we fix this? How can we not do this again? And because I was kind of lax on that stuff, it sort of made him more open about it with me. He didn't care as much. He would tell me what was going on. It's not really for texting. It's for actual talking, says Loose Neutral on TNJ chat. So to verbally say something instead of a text. Give us your thoughts on this, parents. Send your dispatches in at thenewsjunkie.com or email tips, TIPS, at thenewsjunkie.com. A very, very good clip that might make you giggle when we come back. I'll play this for you. Went down to the White House not too long ago. We'll get to your feedback on this and much more. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
Russ, if Ryan gets a speedboat, the next day's headline is going to be this: Captain Corn Carney causes carnage at Causeway.
Ah, damn, he did
Hello. Welcome, have seats. Welcome. Did you guys have code words like this with your parents? Missy says, my daughter's 14, no code. She knows I'll come and get her no matter what. Missy, I think that's the most important thing. Literally. I think it's like, hey, here's our agreement. If you call me or text me, I will pick you up and I will get you out of whatever scenario you're in. I won't yell at you because it's too late. I won't yell at you because the people around you are drinking or you've had a drink or something. I'm more concerned with your safety. And this is your, like, out. I think that's smart. I think that's a smart thing to do. Besides, she actually does text and ask if we have ice cream quite often, so that's out. True. Now, if you make the keyword about do we have ice cream at home, and then you want to actually know if there's ice cream at home, awkward. What was Sean's code word? I don't have a code word. What a quitter, never leave a good party. Come on. Had a code word for a legitimate hostage situation? If someone has taken her and I call, she'll ask if the cat has been fed. That's how I know to call the cops. Do you have a cat, though, Loose Neutral? Because that would make it more confusing, I think. If that's what makes them feel safe, if they're being verbal around their friends, yeah, it's a good idea. Ha! My parents' code words were, when we were growing up, I love you, because we rarely said them. I give her the safety talk on everything. I even tell her that I'll make sure her friends get home safe. I think it's smart. I think that's just good parenting. Parenting should never be only based on anger and discipline. I'm no perfect parent. Not even close. Not even remotely close. In fact, I think I'm pretty bad at it. But even I know that it has to be a mixture of here are my expectations and what will happen if you don't do what you're supposed to do. If you don't meet those expectations, there will be some sort of punishments. But I always want to make sure that you feel safe, and I want you to know that in a pinch, you can reach out to me and I'll help you out, and I won't be overly judgmental. I think that working it on both sides is good. Classic head. I was thinking of creating a code word for my parents because of potential AI phone scams. That's a great point. I'll write that down. That's a great point. Yeah, that's an excellent point. I call parents if I run out of weed. What, are they refilling you? Is that how it works? Folks, I thought we were done with the cold weather. And I opened the door this morning. Lady wants to go outside. It's maybe 5 a.m. Maybe. And I open the door to the bedroom, and the outside air just kicks in. The frosty air is back. I'm not here for it. 90 seconds. 6 weeks ago, a groundhog told you it would be cold today. No excuses. True. It's cold. It's 57 degrees on my porch. Shauna grew up in South Dade County in the late 60s and 70s. We carried pocket knives and watched the Rockford Files. The Sharks versus Jets kind of... The hell are you talking about? We carried pocket knives back in my day. All right, we'll come back. Here we go.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Hi, I'm Bob Pittman, Chairman and CEO of iHeartMedia. I'm sharing with you my podcast, Math and Magic, Stories from the Frontiers of Marketing. Math and Magic takes you behind the scenes of the biggest businesses while sharing insights from the smartest minds in marketing. I'm talking to Liquid Death CEO Mike Cesario.
Investors don't like to invest in ideas. They like to invest in businesses.
Charlemagne the God, and our own Chief Business Officer, Lisa Coffey. Listen to Math and Magic on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Math and Magic to start listening.
Win $25,000 in free impact windows from Maurice Windows. Text TRUST to 20129.
Now back to the most viral newsroom on planet Earth. This
Big brain chat message. How often does that happen? Need a badge or something for this when it does actually occur, when you actually get a big brain chat message in. Somebody in chat says, hey, you were talking about this story that's gone viral where this woman said, oh, my daughter texted me, hey, do we have any ice cream at home? And that's a code. And it means I should pick my daughter up immediately
And I told her, no questions asked. She told me that there were some things happening at the house that she was uncomfortable with. She wanted to get away from them. So she sent me the text message. A lot of the people were saying, like, well, if it's a text message, who's looking? Just say, pick me up. Come pick me up right now. It seems like you're making up a story here, which, maybe that's the case. There's a lot of engagement. The internet's full of it. But this is a real thing that people actually do. You have these sort of agreements with your kids. And if you ever call me and tell me you need help, I'll come get you, no questions asked. Somebody said, I've been thinking about using a code like that for my parents to keep them from getting scammed by people who might call and through AI or whatever go, hey, your son, we've got him. He's in the hospital. We've got your son right now. He's being booked into prison. The scams that they do. And they'll call a parent. They'll go, your child is in a real bad way right now. And he said, you have a password with your parents or a code for your parents so that I could say, hey, it is me or it is not me. When you hear this code, if they go, hey, your son is heading to jail right now. By the way, Snuffleupagus. You go, oh, okay, that's him. That's what the code word was. That's what we were actually doing. That's the real thing. So that is kind of a smart idea, I think. Although they'll have workarounds like they have for absolutely everything. But I think that is kind of a smart idea. We'll get into more of your dispatches, emails, all the rest in just a moment here on the show. Jay saying, when I was growing up, my mom and dad had separated, and my dad was kind of a jerk. So me and my mom had a safe word, which was elephants. And if I said that over the phone, she knew there was a problem, and she would come to the rescue to get me. Yeah, I think a lot of people do this for real. I don't know if it's needed in the texts. Like if you are texting somebody, it seems like you could just go, "Hey, why don't you just come pick me up right now?" Well, but,
in the case of the dad being not a great guy and having the elephant thing, you might want to codify it in case the dad goes through the text messages.
Yeah, right. Which they could be. Other people are saying cops won't pass a message that they don't understand. Maybe. I mean, it's at least an interesting tool to help, instead of younger people, in this case, older people, and prevent them from getting scammed, because that is
why would
very
cops
common thing.
Not pass the message if they don't understand, if they said this is how my parents or this is how my family member will know that this is serious. My worry would be me not being able to give the cop the message, I'm unconscious.
Or the scammer could say, well,
speaking of which,
your son is in St. Patrick's Day unconscious arriving. There he goes. He's got his whole St. Patrick's Day get up in the studio over there, and he's Ubered to the station, so down goes another one.
Very creative segue into drinking.
Yeah, I mean, it always is. Most segues are into drinking here on the show, it appears.
Where's your warm Guinness?
I gave up on it. It's over here. I only have like a third left.
Well, pop open the other one. I know it was a six-pack, no?
No, I don't have any more. No, I think it might have been the last one, or I'll save it for special occasions.
The old special occasion Guinness, huh?
Woo! St. Patrick's Day! So, we could talk more about that, but that was an interesting thing that people were starting to comment on here on the show. So let us know about the code words happening in your family. I said there was something that happened in the White House, which was weird. There's a couple of reports floating around. Now, if you've been following what's happening with Iran, the United States is with Israel bombing Iran. Bomb
Iran.
It's finally happening here. And they're bombing Iran, and they killed Khamenei, who is the supreme leader of Iran, and a bunch of the people around him. They were like the leadership, pretty brutal, theocratic dictatorship leadership structure in Iran. Iran, a country that is literally like the Handmaid's Tale for women and certainly gay people having a very, very tough experience in places like Iran, and just regular people, too. Just average individual citizens have tough times living under a supreme leader with a whole bunch of theocratic rules. And that's what life has been like for a very long time. And that's why a lot of Iranians have raged against it. So the United States and Israel move in. We blow up Khamenei, the original guy, and we blow up a whole bunch of other people. And then they nominate the successor to this supreme leader, and they nominate his son. Now, the story some of you might not have heard is that they decided to bomb the sun, too. And there's audio of the sun. I don't know how they recorded this. Maybe they just were tapping his phones or something. But the sun was inside of his house.
Out of context, that sounds so funny. Like they're going to bomb the sun?
Bomb the sun.
Khomeini's son in this case, the leader of Iran, current leader of Iran, this guy. And they said, well, we'll bomb him too. And so he's inside of his house and he goes, oh, I got to go outside to get something. Maybe he's getting the mail. Maybe he's going to go look at the lawn. I don't know what he's doing. But he randomly decides to wander outside of his house. And when he wanders outside of his house, it was the exact time that U.S. warplanes and Israel warplanes bombed the house he was in. And so the house blew up behind him, and he may be really injured. I haven't really heard exactly what shape the guy is in, but he might have been injured by this because he was so close to the blast. And he calls somebody afterwards. He's like, yeah, I just happened to be outside. I almost got blown up inside the house.
Everyone else inside dead? Was there a lot of people inside?
I don't know.
God, what are the odds of that?
I only know he said he just thought about going outside, so he went outside, and that's when they bombed his house.
Baloney, someone told them.
And he's on the call audio. You can hear him explaining what was going on. And now there's rumors flooding around and a bunch of reports that he's gay, which would be quite the twist. I don't believe this to be the case. But now the reporters are like, anything to the story that Khomeini's son, the new leader of Iran, is actually gay? And this is what's happening now. Here's what are the reporters asking about this.
You said earlier today that the new supreme leader, Ayatollah Khomeini, you don't know if he's dead or alive. There are a couple of interesting reports about him today. There's one report that he just narrowly escaped death in the first airstrikes by stepping out into his garden. There's another report that...
He said there's one report that says he narrowly escaped death by going out into his garden, which appears to be true.
May actually be gay despite leading a theocracy that hangs gay people. How do you determine what's true, and do you have an assessment of this?
Well, so far nobody knows. If you look at his father, he used to give talks a lot, talking about death to America. He'd say death to America all the time. When they say death to America, you should believe them, because that's what they would have. If they had a nuclear weapon, they would have used it. But they never had the chance. I never gave them the chance to use it. And other presidents should have done. I spoke to one of the former presidents who I actually
What about the gay thing?
I actually speak to some. I do like some people. It'd be shocking. And he said, I wish I did what you did. Could have done it. Other presidents, somebody should have done it. 47 years this went on. They call Iran the bully of the Middle East.
So he didn't address it. He didn't address whether the new guy is gay.
Why aren't they bringing this up now? Those rumors must have been a little bit older than that.
I've never heard anything about this guy in my life until recently, because his dad was the dude.
Well, they might not have cared if he was gay, if he wasn't the supreme leader yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be nonsense, but it's floating around out there. There's a bunch of reports on that.
That's not really a society where you can be openly gay, is it?
No, certainly not in Iran. Really not anywhere in the Middle East. Really not anywhere in the Middle East at all, but certainly not in Iran. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got jury duty on the line. And we'll get into some more of your emails coming in right now. You got some pressing issues. We'll celebrate St. Patrick's Day a bit more as we roll on, and so much more coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Lowe's.
March Madness begins tonight in Dayton with first four showdowns between UMBC and Howard and Texas and NC State. As for Florida, they're awaiting their first-round NCAA tournament opponent. The South Region's top seed, they'll play either Lehigh or Prairie View. It'll be Friday night in Tampa. And the Magic try to get back into the win column tonight. They'll host world champion Oklahoma City. Orlando's 7-game win streak was snapped Monday. I'm Scott Davidson.
Save more on the brand's Pros Trust during Lowe's Pro Savings Days. Get a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5-amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt 20-volt max tool. Plus, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Valid through 3/27. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Local folks in uniform know that when it comes to jewelry, IDC rolls out the red carpet every time.
I actually bought my wife's wedding and engagement ring from IDC.
Meet Jamison Kenzie, a firefighter and paramedic who took advantage of International Diamond Center's 15% discount for first responders.
Amazing to get.
Hello. Skull mic activated. Welcome behind the scenes. Welcome behind the scenes. We'll be back live on the show in a moment. The title Supreme Leader is gay? True. Hello? Hi, what you doing? Okay. Be safe. Keep it real. Supreme Queen? He's trying to fix blame by claiming past presidents advised him and he did what they advised. I mean, I would guess that a lot of U.S. presidents historically, especially like, let's say presidents since the 2000s started, presidents of the last 25 years, I would suggest there's probably at least one, if not more, that regret a lot of the things that they've done with Iran. Because Iran is, I've seen a lot of your posts, Angel, I think you're pretty far off to the left, which is fine. But Iran is almost inarguably a huge problem in the Middle East. Iran is at odds with most of its neighbors. Iran funds Hezbollah. Iran funds Hamas. Iran funds the folks in Yemen. Iran funds almost all the separatist groups. The Houthis. Iran funds so a lot. If you look at all the problems in the Near East and the Middle East, Iran is financially funding them with a lot of the oil money that they've built up over the lifetime of their country. And they have been a thorn in the side of not even just the U.S. and not even just Israel, but the West. So I wouldn't be surprised if some presidents actually would say, didn't handle that right. He might be lying about what he's saying, but I wouldn't be surprised. Same proxy groups we condemned for funding we funded in Syria. Should we bomb ourselves? Maybe. Maybe. The Syrian war was a completely different situation. And honestly, I would be very, very hard pressed to come out against the Syrian war because it was so insanely successful at wiping out ISIS, who had been so big. And that's another thing that could bring people together across the political spectrum. ISIS equals bad. The outcome of that was that ISIS was pretty much decimated, which I like. 3 minutes. 9/11 was an inside job. Kind of sounds like all the threats that have been made to our northern and southern neighbor countries by the current admin. What do you mean? You mean 51st state and those types of things? Is that what you're talking about? Couple minutes and we're back live on the show with jury duty, everybody. I want to see you do the cartwheel we just saw you doing on side chat. Well, you just saw me doing it though. If you just saw me do it in the Hall of Fame, why do I need to recreate it here again? You've already seen it. But I would nail it. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Couple more hockey tournaments, they'll be clamoring to join us. Hey, say what you want. But is it not pretty based? Men's Team USA hockey, winner. Women's Team USA hockey, winner. Paralympics. Team USA hockey. Winner! I mean, who doesn't like that? I don't even like hockey. "90 seconds. I think we're up to 15,000 airstrikes in Iran so far. Might be true. It's expensive. Let's talk about that, right? It's expensive. That's a lot of money. That's great for USA teams. Hell yeah, go USA. I'd never seen the Paralympians where they're on the ice playing hockey, but they're sitting down. They play hockey like sort of sitting down. Very interesting. All right, we're coming back. With or without legs, we win. Hell yeah, sled hockey. That's it. Sled hockey. So cool.
Did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That fun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Filling in the gaps between the New York Times and World Star. This is
Following in jury duty in just a moment. Really interesting. New twists and turns that we'll get to here momentarily on the show. Learn more about everything going around here on the website, which is thenewsjunkie.com. We never got around to talking about the new show. I know it's just kind of starting to bubble up, this DTF St. Louis show.
I think I've only seen one episode so far, but I liked it.
There's only 3 episodes, as far as I know. Mm-hmm. I think there's 3 right now, and it's all what's that streaming on? What is
HBO?
HBO. Okay, it's on HBO. There's a new show with Jason Bateman.
Yeah,
he's in it,
and then the dude from Stranger Things,
the cop.
Yep, the cop from Stranger Things.
Then you know her from everything, and of course,
Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah. The woman who plays Will Ferrell's wife in Daddy's Home, and she's also in Freaks and Geeks.
Linda
Cardellini.
Yep. David Harbour, Jason Bateman, Peter Skarsgård, and from the looks of this, many more features.
The pitch is not great. The pitch is like 2 guys not thrilled with the status of their current marriages. Bond over a dating app called DTF St. Louis and try to explore life outside their marriage. That's what I would give you as like the elevator pitch for this show. So it's not the greatest pitch, and we're kind of barely hanging on after watching the 3rd episode. I liked the first episode. The more I get into it, and somebody said this in chat earlier, and I think it's just like, it's kind of right. There's not really any likable characters, save for the person who's not alive any longer.
That doesn't make you a little bit more intrigued? I thought it was going to be like a goofy, this is what it's like to be that age and trying to explore dating apps. And after the 3rd episode, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a dark murder mystery.
Yeah, I mean, I'm mostly just, I'm only hanging on because I am such a sucker for a whodunit kind of thing. And I want to know who did it. So there's a murder at the middle of this television show, DTF St. Louis. It's got a lot of stars in it. And I want to know who did the murder. So I'm watching it still. But I mean, like, it is one of those things where the more I watch, the less I like. They're really leaning into a lot of the pegging. The Hollywood writers cannot put pegging in enough things. In 2026, I don't know why they feel the need to push pegging on the audience over and over and over again.
I don't think it was pegging.
The
Amazon position.
There was definitely pegging at one point during the show where she was doing the pushing.
I thought the same thing, but I did look up Amazon position, and it turns out it's not. And I don't know if this is the conversation that we were all meant to have together, but
all right, here I go. Amazon.
It's just yes, I don't know how
really
to radio
surprised.
safe it.
No.
I didn't get
Okay. It looks like it's not really possible, but so the suggestion is that you're laying down
as a man.
The man is laying down with their legs up, and the woman is.
I can show this, right?
The genitals.
Yeah. You could show it for the people on YouTube. The woman is in the position like that the man would be in traditionally, but the woman is still using the man's genitals for the Amazon sex position.
And I had never heard of this in my life because I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh, we're doing the pegging, but
yeah,
this is new and different, and not sure how it ties into the murder mystery of it all, but she did him. I'll tell you that.
I know that they wanted to work in that he's like trying to get his rocks off with this woman, and that's why he's interested in her, and that's why their connection is building on some level. But the whole, like, the interaction between them is really cringe.
And Jason Bateman, not the this is the most unattractive I've seen him as a character.
He's not likable at all. The only guy that's likable is the dead person. The dead person is the only one who's like, you keep hearing him, you're like, oh, this guy's like the dead person. He was. This is not a real big spoiler or something. Y'all are watching some weird ass shows. This is just how most shows tend to be all of a sudden right now. But one of the guys, the guy who's dead, who's played by the Stranger Things sheriff, David Harbour. He fires up this app, and then he gets a hit on the DTF app, and he goes out on the date to meet the person, and he doesn't realize it was a guy, but then he doesn't want to be rude to the guy, so he doesn't like say, oh, I'm not into this, and dismiss the guy, and he just kind of goes along with the date just to be like super nice to the dude who ended up on this date with him. And he's the only one who seems like a quirky, weird character.
And I gotta say,
I'm interested in. All the rest of them are like weird, miserable people.
David Harbour's character, and both Nicole and I were like, oh my God, he really gained so much weight for this role.
Oh, unless that was like, the belly. His belly was fake, yeah.
Some of the best prosthetic work I've seen in a long time, because it was up until like one moment where he was hanging over, and I had to Google it, that it was, revealed to me that it was a prosthetic. I thought he just did the whole meta acting thing.
I just have a problem
like Whale.
I have a problem with the unlikability of a lot of the characters, number one. And number two, I don't know if anybody else gets bothered by stuff like this, but they're police officers interrogating these characters on this show. Again, it's called DTF St. Louis. You might hear people talking about it. And a lot of it is in the interrogation room. But they don't want it to be visually boring and have every scene with Jason Bateman or some other character in an interrogation room, which is pretty ugly, with a police officer. So they have some of the interrogations take place elsewhere. And they would never do this. So like the cop sits in the atrium sometimes.
Oh, like a little Zen garden.
Yeah, there's like a Zen garden, and the cop's like sitting on one thing in the Zen garden, and the other person's sitting on on a seat on the other end of the Zen garden, and he's doing the interrogation there, and it's like, this would never happen.
I would believe that if this were like DTF Los Angeles, but I don't know about St. Louis.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit weird and losing me a bit, but we're kind of giving it a shot here. If you've watched it at all, let us know. DTF St. Louis. I missed jury duty entirely. I apologize for that. I will get into it when it comes back because there are some big stories with updates that I 100% need to work in. And we need to talk about a huge scandal on the streaming front. In the world of streaming, there's a big scandal that's brewing right now. And I wanted to at least talk about this a little bit. So we'll get into that and jury duty. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Northbound and southbound lanes are blocked due to an accident on Orange Blossom Trail between Michigan Street and Cayley Street. Look out for emergency crews on the roadways clearing up a crash out in Sanford on 1st Street at French Avenue. The roadways by the beaches are going to be busier than normal. Everybody's on spring break. I-4, you're going to get caught up in some familiar delays starting to pile up. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just...
Hello. You're in good hands with Allstate. C-Lane is just realizing he had an awkward flub in his hammer and nails commercial. Poor guy. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to hang on to this show. I'm going to give it one more episode. And if they get away from the degradation kink, and if they make it look a little more visually appealing, I like Jason Bateman, man. I like him. Don't make me not like him. I bet the streaming scandal has something to do with AI. No, that's not correct. That is not correct. Sorry to let you down. All right, we'll get into delayed jury duty in a moment. Can they introduce one-handed Buster to the show? Oh, please, yes. Sean, can Courtney come out and play today after work, pretty please? What are you guys cooking up? Huh? What are you guys cooking up over there? What's happening? What's going on? I don't know what's going on here. I don't trust. It sounds unchristian, Sean. You know, if you've watched the show and paid attention at all, which I'm sure you have, I am not religious at all, but I am in movies put off by like too much degeneracy forced into the sex scenes. Too much like sex when it's not advancing the plot in any particular way. And I think that there's a lot of that out there. Like, show nudity, have a sex scene where it advances the plot, where it makes sense. But when it doesn't, it's like, what are we doing here? What is this? I'm watching her put her genitals on his nose and put pressure on his face. Like, oh, okay, cool. I thought he was a priest this whole time? No. That's not a Zoomer take. That's a legit take. I think movies are great. I love movies. I think television shows are great. We've never had more amazing options. I think there's some weird like degeneracy agenda where they want to see in some of these shows what people will put up with. And I don't mind a sex scene. I don't mind a quick this, a quick that, or whatever. But sometimes there's like an effort to linger, to provoke, when it's doing nothing to advance the story. And I think artistically it's just lame. That's lame. Sean will become a monk once his contract expires? Well, maybe, friend. We're so close. June 30th. See you later, baby. Monkville, here I come. I'm going to brew some beers with the monks. All right, here we go.
Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation. One-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at Lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo.
Win $25,000 in free impact windows from Maurice Windows. Text TRUST to 20129.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. From car accidents to personal injury cases, Mo has you covered. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM, HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station guaranteed human. Home of the world-famous Game of Magnets. This is the...
We have arrived, and you're with us here in the Power Hour of the show. It's the final hour of the show. Learn more about everything that happens in the world's most viral newsroom at thenewsjunkie.com. Discussing that show and just like movies and Hollywood in general during the break. And I said, it's weird for me because I do not come at this from a religious angle at all. But I do think there's this weird thing where Hollywood is pushing way, way too much like weirdo sex scenes into stuff. And if it doesn't advance the plot, if it's just like a weird gratuitous sex scene or like nude scenes that hang on for too long, even me as the person who's not religious at all, you know this from listening to the show, I go, okay, come on, I find it so weird. It's like sometimes the people who make these movies and TV shows say, what can we get away with? Like, how long can we hang on this? How long can we go in this direction before somebody's like, what happened to the show? I was watching a show and now all of a sudden there's like weird stuff going on here. So I do think that's a thing. And I don't know why. Like I even talked about this with, what was the Demi Moore movie where she was naked? The Substance. I thought The Substance was fun and interesting all of that.
Was she naked in that, or was that her younger Substance self?
That was her and the other one, which was played by Shia LaBeouf's ex. I like 100% go, okay, I get it. Demi Moore like is working out. She wants to be in this scene, and like, here's a great example of what I could look like, and I'll just put it out there for the world. And like, I would do that. Get in really ripped shape and be in a movie naked for a second. And people are like, damn, look how good that person. Forever you look like that, right? I get that. I totally get that. And I don't care about sex scenes. I'm not a prude in the slightest, despite what some of you were saying in chat. But I do think sometimes it's like over the top, degenerate stuff, just shoving it at you to see what you'll put up with before you're like, what are we doing here? We got lost here at some point in time. I want get back to like advancing the plot and telling me what's going on with these characters. So I do feel like that happens. And let me know if you agree, disagree, etc. over on thenewsjunkie.com. One thing I wanted to mention, I teased this real quick, so let's get this story in. There's a guy on Kick, and I'll explain what Kick is for those of you who don't know. This guy is a Kick streamer. You have YouTube, which you can stream on, and the show is streamed on YouTube. You have Twitch, which you can stream on, and the show is streamed on Twitch. And then Kick is a competitor. I'm glad that those platforms have competitors,
But also Kick is, if you want to talk about degeneracy, like the center of degeneracy for streaming. People going out and trolling other people, people bothering people, people harassing people, people in hot tubs with no substance to the content they're creating.
Hot tub.
And in this case, this dude on his Kick account, I'm not going to say his name because why add to any of this, but I guess one of these streamers found a homeless person and started hanging out with them. And then they ended up doing drugs together, and they both like zombied out on the stream. And the chat is still going as these two are just completely KO'd as their stream goes on. I don't need to play a lot of this, but I'm just kind of showing you what's going on here. And I'm doing this for a reason, because I guess afterwards, the guy said when the original rumor was that they were on fentanyl or that he was doing something like that with this homeless person that he met. He said afterwards that wasn't true. He was completely out of it and high off his ass, but he says he was using an over-the-counter drug, and he showed it. And we talked about these gas station drugs not that long ago. Huh. This one says Dozo Perks.
I've not seen those before.
It says LVLUP, like Level Up Blend. I don't even know what this is. 7-hydroxy mitogenine.
7-0. I think that's what they're putting in the bad kratom, like because they've been trying to get rid of kratom in certain places, but there's like a all natural kratom that's not that bad for you, and then there's the synthetic or the enhanced stuff that's kind of been a real thorn in the side of the entire kratom industry.
Is this supposed to be like an upper or something? I see four. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like 4 individual pills.
Yes.
In that pack.
Yeah, there's 4 pills in this pack, but I think it's very much a downer.
Oh.
And it's weird that you could just buy this at like a gas station or something that makes you that high. That's crazy to me. That is wild. It says on top, to its defense, caution, extremely potent. But this is something you just buy at a store. You could just go in and go, okay, I want the peach kiwi flavored, and then you get it and you chew the chewable.
Let's try it.
And these guys this is what happens when they do it. They're over the counter. These are over the counter pills.
So last July, the FDA released a statement saying they were taking a bold step to protect Americans from dangerous illegal opioids by recommending a scheduling action to control certain 7-0 products or 7-hydroxymitogenine under the Controlled Substances Act. They said, I think because it's increasingly recognized as having potential for abuse because of its ability to bind to opioid receptors.
Oh.
So it gives you like the same impact as if you were doing some opioids, but you could just buy this stuff.
Right. They're specifically targeting...
That's crazy.
They're targeting 7-0. It's a concentrated byproduct of the kratom plant. It's not focused on natural kratom leaf products. It's just this 7-0 stuff that they're like...
Right.
Distilling the kratom down to or something.
Which is even more unfortunate because I literally, I say this every time kratom comes up. I have heard so many times from people who have been addicted to opioids, opiates, whatever, that have been addicted to heroin, who say, actually, I went and got on kratom, and it was the best way for me to segue off of doing the harder drugs. And it really helped me clean myself up slowly over time. And I credit kratom with saving my life. I've heard that from a lot of people. Every time I bring it up, I get more and more emails about it with people saying, Sean, glad you brought that up. I feel this way. I've seen that it changes people's lives and it does for the better. It sucks so bad that people are doing things under the same name that's going to, like, won't this just get it all banned? How does this end with
Could.
Because people do not want folks from being able to go in and purchase this stuff. Flats Fisherman says 70H has been removed from shelves. Well, clearly not from all of them.
Exactly. And I don't think when it comes to the government overlords of stopping that they focus on the kratom industry. How about like where we're getting this from and putting it into the gas stations?
Yeah.
And why we can just change one chemical and put them back on those shelves.
Yeah, there it is. That's the thing right there. Why is it that we have this loophole that says only these drugs are illegal in the United States of America, and some crazy science guy, Mr. Wizard type, can go, okay, Well, what we'll do is we'll just take the molecular structure of this drug and change one thing so technically it's different, but it gets people high in almost the same exact way. In fact, it's even worse because we don't know what the long-term effects are of it now. And then you could put it in packaging and sell it for funsies at a Circle K. Like, that's kind of crazy. You should have to, like, I would rather them have a situation where things needed to get approved before you could release them. But that's where we are, I guess. Pretty crazy. This kick streamer filmed himself. He said he had been clean for 15 years and then took these things that you just get right over the counter.
Look at the plate behind him, too.
A wedge salad.
A little wedge salad.
A lovely dinner and then a downward spiral for dessert.
Yeah. And there's 2 of them missing, so I'm assuming they both took one. I will never understand the draw of something that when you go, hey, Sean, when you take this, you will be completely zombied out for, let's say, like 6 hours. Like, you take these and you will sit there and be gone from this world. You'll be still standing, but like in a zombie-like state. It just doesn't look super fun to me.
Some people really hate this world.
I guess so.
Goodbye.
I guess so. Maybe that's it. All right, better late than never. Here we go. Let's do it. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm in Power Hour. Cheers to St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you were doing it.
Sean, I think you're faking that now. There's no way there's liquid in there still.
It's still in there. I don't know. You can't really hear it. Yeah. You can't really hear it. There's only a little bit left in it, but.
Cilantro.
Okay, I did it. Oh,
cheers.
I did it. Cheers. Down the hatch. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Brought to you
I
by
got jury duty for you. Brought to you by Moses DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Not this part, but the rest of it, right?
Oh, he would support us.
800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. After an accident, reach out to Mo DeWitt. He's the best of the best. He's going to help you against those greedy insurance companies. And you can just say, hey, Mo, I got into an accident. Here's the deal. Here's some photos. And the case is off and rolling just like that. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, call or text 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. People are saying some of the other things you can get. Spanish fly. I think Spanish fly was a real thing. Lemon 714 Quaaludes. Well, and
I think those were those like that was like the golden goose of Quaaludes or something. I don't know. I haven't seen Wolf of Wall Street in a second, but I think the lemons were like the ones you wanted, unlike cars.
I know that this opens up this sort of Pandora's box, and you will go, Sean, but you can get high on Duster, you can get high on Whippet. Should they be selling those things? That's different than somebody specifically making like pills and drugs and things like bath salts, where we have this whole sort of fake economy based around them. But for those of you who don't know, if you ever go into a really crappy gas station, it'll happen at some point in time. You'll be there. Whether it's for the cheapest gas or you just happen to be there, it's the only spot for you. You'll go to a really crappy gas station and you'll go, why do they have these little tiny roses in this gas station? And it's little roses and these little tiny little rose tubes. And you'll say, well, I've never seen these before. I was supposed to get one for my wife or something. They're crack pipes. But we have like this whole fake economy at gas stations in some of these places where you go, okay, I'll take a rose, and then you buy all these other things. And it's all drugs that can get people high as hell and get people addicted to them.
Damn right.
But they're not like official drugs, so they're not as illegal as the other stuff.
There's gotta, like, in the history of everybody, be a couple guys who are just so not street savvy that they thought, I'm going to get a rose for my girlfriend.
I need to clean my VCR. Can I have a bottle of those poppers VCR cleaner?
Or the bath salts, actually putting it in the bath for once and just hoping for the bath to be a nice bubbly concoction. No, it's a whole different world, and these people are just getting high. It's not at like a nice gas station, but if you know you're at a bad gas station when you see those suckers. All right, let's see here. What do we have for jury duty? Oh, this was an interesting one. A win for the Jeffrey Epstein victims. All right, don't hear that a lot, but it's true here today. This has been a civil lawsuit that was brought by the women who accused Bank of America of facilitating their sexual abuse by Jeffrey Epstein.
How?
Lawyers for the bank and the women told the Manhattan-based U.S. district judge that they reached, quote, a settlement in principle. So Bank of America has reached a settlement in principle with the Jeffrey Epstein victims. The terms of the settlement were not immediately clear. It requires the judge's approval. But basically, this was a proposed class action filed in October by a woman using Jane Doe, accused Bank of America of ignoring suspicious financial transactions related to Epstein, despite a plethora of information about his crimes, because they wanted profit over protecting victims. Bank of America has said Doe allegedly Doe allegedly merely that it provided routine services to people who at the time had no known links to Epstein, and any suggestion that it was more deeply involved were threadbare and meritless. But the judge said you must face these claims. The bank saying, we didn't know what was going on here. The women who were victims of Jeffrey Epstein were saying, you were allowing him to do transactions at the bank that were related to the illegal stuff that he was getting involved in. And probably to make it go away, Bank of America is like, let's just settle this thing.
That's a little...
With whose money?
With Bank of America's money.
Yeah.
And they, I wouldn't be surprised if they got a little bit of a nice paycheck out of that.
Do you not find that to be a bit of a stretch?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, like, to think that somebody would be negligent, and let's be honest, like, all the banking you do, a big majority of the banking you do is not in person. It's digital. For somebody like a billionaire, any of the numerous checks and balances that would be put on my bank account or Sabrina's bank account, if we were to spend a whole bunch of money, they'd be like, well, you don't usually have that much money.
Yeah,
What's
but
going
this is
on
way
here?
beyond anything we'd ever.
Right, it's different when you're it's different when you're a billionaire. But banks that have billionaires as their clients, those people, those accounts, I think, are treated differently. My point being is that is a bank liable for what you do with the money?
I mean, if they settled, that means I feel like there's more information that was not released to the public.
What the problem is this. The problem is not that there's more information or Bank of America knew and they were like, oh, let's keep getting the Epstein money in. The problem is, in a lot of cases like this, they don't want the headlines.
Sure.
They don't want Bank of America versus Epstein victims everywhere.
Sure.
So Bank of America goes, what do you want, $5 million? And they go, yes, $5 million. And the Bank of America goes, that is absolutely nothing to us compared to what this is going to do to our reputation being connected to Epstein. You got yourself a deal. And I'll be real with you. I don't know if this is popular or if this is something that most people are in agreement with, but I would say like 50% of class actions are kind of like this. Like for every class action where I go, yeah, those people deserve their money. There's a Red Bull Give Me Wings class action where
I still to this day, and that picture came up on my time hop recently of the day that I got my case of my 4-pack of Red Bull for free from that settlement. I still to this day wonder if that wasn't like something they just did on purpose to be viral, to talk, to be some. We have talked about that in relation to class action lawsuits ever since.
Because before that, C-Lane, it was, and this was not a good one, before that, it was McDonald's hot coffee.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't a class action.
No, not really, but it was like a litigious example. It was an example of
and it was a bad example because that chick really got super, super severely burnt.
100%.
But at face value, when you hear the headline, woman sues McDonald's because her coffee is too hot, you think, oh, this person is just after a paycheck.
Yeah.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I remember when that headline came out and people going, that is just ridiculous.
They did it everywhere. They for a while, people didn't want to sue in America for things like that because they said, oh, were you surprised that the coffee was hot? But the real story behind it, for those of you who don't know, or maybe you're new to the show and haven't heard me talk about this before, the real story behind it was McDonald's had decided their customers wanted their coffee piping hot, but that they usually drove X amount of miles after the coffee purchase, and they needed the heat of the coffee to be so hot that even after that duration of driving, it would still be the level of hot that the driver wanted. So they cooked up their coffee so hot at McDonald's that it actually did burn this lady's crotch. And
it destroyed.
Don't
poor
want
lady.
it that hot.
But she was a punchline. She was a punchline because of all this. So I do think, generally speaking, a lot of the class action lawsuits and things like that can tend to be a little loosey-goosey, and is there any real victim here? But
it's hard to...
This is interesting. Do you think it's going to set a precedent, though, for where we are in our digital payment age, that if anything, I don't know if it'll ever be Epstein level, but nefarious, that Venmo or Cash App or Zelle could be held accountable for it?
Yeah, probably. And I think we're already seeing that. We're already seeing a lot of things where this is why debanking exists to a certain extent. This is why you have people who have been, like the banks will tell you cannot put your money here. We find you to be too controversial, and we won't even let you have an account here. There's a handful of people who have been caught up in situations like this. Perhaps Christopher Dolores Lane, perhaps not.
Not really, no. No, not me.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't have enough money for the bank to want to care about anything like that.
But first of all, imagine having so much money that the bank was concerned about this.
Yeah. But at the same like thought, I go, okay, well, Jeffrey Epstein also had a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like I understand that it's kind of tough to like tell the Epstein victims like,
had car insurance.
Hey, I don't really think you're doing the right thing here. But yeah, he had a cell phone, and I'm sure the cell phone was used to do some nefarious things. Are we going to start calling AT&T or
sounds like you got
Verizon?
Someone's back there.
Well, another example of this would be like the guy who went on Stardust Racers, which has been shut down for so long after that. I mean, it's been up and down, but this was a roller coaster at Epic Universe, the new theme park in Orlando, Florida. And the guy who went on this roller coaster was, by all means, not supposed to go on the roller coaster. There's warnings all in the whole queue telling you not to go on the roller coaster if you're this guy. He had a bunch of problems health-wise, and he still, despite that, chose to go on the roller coaster and ended up dying on the roller coaster. Now, it could be that this big, giant corporation that runs a theme park thinks we are not liable. We didn't do anything wrong. He did something wrong. But that's why they go after these companies with these lawsuits, because they go, some of these companies will pay us to go away.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot. I'm talking about a lot of money to go away in some cases.
But dying on the roller coaster, that lawsuit makes a lot more sense. For this, I'm thinking it's like you died on the roller coaster at the theme park, and now we're going to sue the credit card company that processed the transaction to buy the tickets to the theme park.
True,
At some point,
it's more
there's just not any responsibility here.
Let us know what you think. Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com, thenewsjunkie.com. Back with more of our St. Patrick's Day show that's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Mistakes aren't bugs here. They're future best of segments. Real Radio 104.1. Guaranteed human.
Looks like northbound lanes are getting by now on Orange Blossom Trail between Cayley Street and Michigan Street. Southbound lanes are still getting affected, though. Just look out for emergency crews, police activity on the roadways. I-4, you're going to get stuck in some familiar slowdowns. No serious accidents on the major roadways just yet. By the beaches, the roadways are going to be busier than normal. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the traffic center.
Hello. Sanford has a bunch of those gas stations? Oh. Color me surprised. Red Bull didn't give him win. All right, grab bag segment. Lots of clips when we come back. Papa Shroom says a lot of it has to do with setting precedents. Otherwise, laws, rules, regulations would not exist. The companies would ignore and just keep doing what they do. Okay. So let's say that we agree that it's useful in some cases to sue companies for things like this, to set a precedent, and that will help people down the road. I would say that's not a major motivating factor in most of the people's minds who are involved in this. Right? Like, when I see a case like this, I don't think the person's like, I'm only doing this to set a precedent for down the road so that it helps other. I think what the attorneys have in mind and what the people have in mind in the majority of these instances is probably just money. Sean, I missed the show. Can you give me a recap of what happened for the past 2.5 hours? Guinness drinking, whiskey drinking, viral stories, I did an Irish jig, and some other things. Bank of America asked me 1,000 questions every time I withdraw a large amount of my own damn money. Lori, how much money are you withdrawing? How much money are we talking about here? I agree, not the real motive, but needed. It's like a side effect, you know? Or it's like it's an additional outcome, I guess you could say, which can be good, but probably not the motivating factor. This is at least the third bank to see consequences for ignoring red flags and trafficking related transactions for Epstein.
Transform your backyard for less than $5 a day. Fence Outlet will install a sleek black aluminum fence that adds style, security, and comfort.
Cosidius, you're all caught up. Bank of America sucks. What the hell? But Bank of America is the company, for what it's worth, that when I moved, I was in West Palm Beach, and my financial situation was so dire that I couldn't use the bank anymore because I had overdraft fees from Bank of America that totaled up so much money that if I deposited my check, it would have gobbled up too much of my check and I wouldn't have been able to pay my bills for that 2 weeks. So I had to just leave the Bank of America account all screwed up. And then the banks put me on this list and the other banks wouldn't take me in because I didn't pay off the Bank of America money. And eventually I had to start at a bank, TCF bank, that didn't pay attention to the other bank's reports. And they let me start up a new account and I was able to start rebuilding some stuff and then move on from there. But it used to be with overdrafts, with all the fees and everything. Bank of America was pretty bad for a while. I don't know if they're better now. You guys can tell me if they're better now. But Bank of America was pretty bad for a while there. Wells Fargo's worse. All right, we're coming back.
Can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
There's no championship league for small business owners, but if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo. The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like the Beatles Now and Then, celebrating all things Beatles. Legendary clips, deep cuts, live performances, and all their solo hits. Listen commercial-free. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Beatles Now and Then, and make it your next preset. iHeartRadio.
Helping to spread awareness, or whatever the new buzz term is. We're not actually doing any.
Clips I got to work in, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to move fast here and go through a lot in a short period of time on the show. First, let's roll over to a couple of emails, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. And Steve says to tips@thenewsjunkie.com, hey, Junkie, every time you guys bring up GoFundMe, you talk about how the initial goal was this, and now they've raised it to that, a higher number. I used to do this as well. He says, my sister unexpectedly passed away last year at 36. Oh, man, sorry to hear that. We started a GoFundMe just to help with the funeral expenses. Our goal was the $7,000 that the funeral was going to cost, which is pretty reasonable. Unbeknownst to us, when you're nearing that goal, GoFundMe automatically raises the goal, he says.
Weird. Can you turn that off? Because it seems like it makes you look greedy.
Yeah, and it seems like it only benefits GoFundMe even more afterwards because they keep getting higher percentages, right?
Do we know what their percentage is?
I don't know. I don't know what they take. Obviously, they have like processing fees and stuff. It keeps getting close to the new goal, and then they would keep raising it. When donations slowed down, they would automatically lower it. Really, so just back and forth. Remember, GoFundMe gets a portion of the donation, so it's in their best interest to keep raising it.
They charge a transaction fee of 2.9% plus 30 cents per donation for personal
every
fundraisers.
donation?
That covers payment processing. There's no fee to create or manage a fundraiser. And for certified charities, the fee is reduced from 2.9% plus 30 cents to 2.2% plus 30 cents.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
How generous,
Really,
huh? Look at that. I mean, it does cost them money to operate. I understand that. They got a business going. But it says GoFundMe gets a portion of the donation, so it's in their best interest to keep raising it if the fund has momentum. So we ended up with over $20,000 of our initial $7,000 goal, which we used for various things for her 9-year-old daughter. We were extremely grateful to be able to pay for the funeral and felt blessed beyond belief that we could spoil her daughter quite a bit in her most dire time of needing distraction. Thanks, Steve. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate the email. Very good email.
That's good to know.
Yeah, Marcy says, to the 3 rock stars of talk radio, I look forward to Sabrina's next episode every show with the jingle, smoke weed every day. It's the bomb and I love it, says this person.
Oh.
They're disagreeing with the other person who took
Vicky.
issue with the smoke weed every day. The Vicky email from, was that last week? I don't remember. I'm sure many other listeners feel the same. I understand the politics of it on radio, and I'm extremely bummed out. Time for the 3 of you to get out of the radio nest and move to satellite or have a podcast that's not censored. Without all the restrictions, I feel your show would be even more fantastic and popular. Time to go out on your own and go national. I know you hear me, Sean. That's my 2 cents. Appreciate you all. The show kicks ass. Rock on, says Marcy. Thank you, Marcy.
I mean, that's a great email, lovely email. I don't think that Vicky's problem was that anything that we're putting on here is not radio friendly. I think she just doesn't like the message about smoking weed.
Well,
yeah.
Say it to my doctor's face.
What's crazy is people still get upset about the marijuana stuff when I go. For me, my mind is still blown talking about the gas station drugs that you can get. My mind is still blown. That that is way more dangerous. I don't know. If you work at one of these gas stations, I'd love to hear from you. What are people buying? And what's this look like? What's the business of it? And can a kid who's like 15 or 16 go in and buy one of these things? Or do you have to be 18 to buy the gas station drugs?
I feel like if a kid who was 15 or 16 could, it would be a much bigger problem because the kids who were in high school would have found out about this already.
As dumb as this sounds, when you go into, let's say you're going to a CVS, most of the medicine that's there, can anybody buy that? Cough
Most
medicine.
of it. Some of the cough medicines, I would say no. Some of the ones like, because I remember
Tussin.
Tussin started getting a bad rep because people were robo-tripping, and so I think they started cracking down on how old you had to be to buy Tussin. I just think once it starts to become a problem and people start pointing fingers at different brands or different stores, they kind of clean it up.
Yeah, I guess I would say to me, when people complain about things like that, I just go, I see drug problems. It's like seeing dead people, I guess. I see drug problems, but the drug problems that I see are very different from what these people see. I see stuff that's like much bigger deal, I think.
And the people we're talking to, though, and much like us, are not the clientele. They're not the number one purchasers of these very sketchy gas station drugs. Those are the folks who are down to try whatever.
I think a lot of these people are just wandering around outside doing these things, and it's crazy.
If you got through to some high schoolers, or God forbid, younger, that there was something that they were able to walk into a gas station and buy off the shelf that could get them high, I think you would know about it. I think because the high school they find this stuff out even before the internet was big. When I was in high school, man, was it middle school or what? Did it have to be high school because people had to get there? People knew the gas station that would sell them cigarettes.
Oh, 100%.
And for people who grew up in a certain part of Central Florida or a certain age would remember the term Rainbow Mart or the Rainbow. We're going to the Rainbow. It wasn't even called Rainbow Mart. There was a rainbow painted on the ceiling. But they knew that crappy gas station did not ID kids for cigarettes.
Right. It was like probably a quarter of their business at some points, I'm sure. All right, here we go. Let's get to a couple clips. Here's Trump in the White House talking about what's going to happen with Cuba. Cuba is plunged into darkness right now, and the Cuban residents have no power all across the entirety of the island. They're on the verge of collapse. Here's the discussion.
I was just with a fantastic person who's Cuban and made a fortune in sugar, Fanjul family, right? And this family wants to go back to Cuba to visit it. They haven't been back in like 50 years or something. They largely come from Cuba. And we'll see what happens. They were asking me about that. They want to go back. Not only Fanjul, a lot of Cubans have said, oh boy, would they love to go back. I think Cuba, in its own way, if tourism and everything else, it's a beautiful island, great weather.
True.
They're not in a hurricane zone, which is nice for a change. They won't be asking us for money for hurricanes every week. But I think Cuba see the end. All my life I've been hearing about the United States and Cuba. When will the United States do it?
Here you go, right here.
I do believe I'll be having the honor of taking Cuba. That'd be good. That's a big honor.
Taking Cuba.
Taking Cuba in some form, yeah. Taking Cuba. I mean, whether I free it, take it, I think I can do anything I want with it. You want to know the truth? They're a very weakened nation right now. They were for a long time. Very violent leaders. Castro was a very violent leader. His brother's a very violent leader. Extremely violent.
So he said, I can take it. I can do whatever I want with
hurricanes.
it. All right. I don't know exactly what that means, but I do think he's right about the fact that they're teetering over there. Things are not going well. They don't have that Venezuela oil. They don't have the Iranian oil coming in.
What do you mean by
bad spot?
What do you mean by the no hurricane thing? Because they're 90 miles from Key West. That's definitely hurricane zone.
I think you heard him correctly. No hurricane zone.
They do get hurricanes. I'm not sure where that came from, but it's probably news to them that they don't get any hurricanes there. Maybe they get them a little less than some other areas. But all right, when we come back, final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut, and today to wrap everything up for a Tuesday. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show. Saying things that management will have to apologize for later. The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
We are feeling some big changes for our St. Patrick's Day. Hi there, I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist TJ Springer. After that cold front brought us the showers and the strong storms on Monday, highs today only around...
Stand by. Live read in coming.
We'll fall back into the middle 40s around the metro, north and west of town. Some spots will get into the middle 30s, even low 30s. So grab the jackets again Wednesday morning, but we will rebound. It'll be a beautiful day, actually. Still probably a bit cool for the beach. We'll have highs in the low 70s under plenty of sun. From the Fox 35 Storm Center, I'm meteorologist TJ Springer.
This report is sponsored by the Florida Department of Transportation. Hey, listeners, before celebrating St. Patrick's Day this year, remember to plan ahead and know all your options. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel. Instead, designate a sober driver or catch a ride service. And if you are the designated sober driver, commit to staying sober. Don't let your luck run out.
Folks, I got to tell you about Mills Air simply because they are an unbelievable company to work with in the best possible way. Mills Air, led by Leon Mills, is going to help you out and be fair with you. When it comes to fixing your air conditioner, you don't need to know how it works inside out. You don't need to be a technical whiz. They do that. They've got that under control. All the techs over at Mills Air know what they're doing. And the problem you have, they've fixed it many, 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 many times before. So it'll be nice and easy and painless. And the paycheck, the bill that you get afterwards, I should say, is a lot more painless when it comes to getting it from Mills Air. Some of these other places will take advantage of you and rip you off to no end. But Mills Air will be fair. They'll get your AC up and running and make sure you're nice and comfortable. 407-277-1159. That's the phone number for Mills Air. 407-277-1159. Or find them online at millsair.com.
SeaWorld's Seven Seas Food Festival. More than 2...
Hello. You have now reached the end of the show, friends. We have one final segment left. It's now time for the ceremonial rating of the show. That's right. That's right. This is where you rate the show. 10 out of 10 is a winner. Let me show you where it goes. A 10 out of 10 show, goes into the News Junkie Hall of Fame, Radio Broadcasting Hall of Fame. No notes. Beautiful, beautiful place to be. A 1 out of 10 goes over there. Not a good time. 9 Orion Samuelson eulogies out of 10. 10 warm baby sips of Guinness out of 10. 8.4 overdraft fees. 10 out of 10 diseased dogs. 6.5 pegging diagrams out of 10. 10 out of 10 shamrocks. 9 out of 10 St. Patrick's Day nips. 8 out of 10 spring break crazy. 1 out of 10 no plane stories. Lies. We had a plane story. There was even a whole song played. Hey, Dow. All right. 9 out of 10, Trump is lying about Cuba? What do you mean? I think you might be right about Cuba being on the verge of collapse. Cuba is not doing very well. The embargo is finally working full force. So what happens next? I don't know. But they're not looking good. 10 out of 10 for a Tuesday. Chatter of the day. Our chatter of the day is the first person to message right now on TNJ chat. I'm watching for you on the studio screen. The first person who messages in from TNJ chat on the website is the chatter of the day. May I remind you, after YouTube stream ends, after Twitch stream ends, after your raid ends, then you can still go over to and hang out at thenewsjunkie.com/chat. Thenewsjunkie.com/chat. It is very much a beta, but it is coming along, and eventually will be a great place for you to be. All right. We're back to wrap it up, baby. Loose neutral, that's you. Chatter of the day. Stand by.
$25,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows. Pick up your phone and text the word TRUST right now to 20129. That's TRUST to 20129.
Contractors and homeowners, installing a metal roof? Don't leave money on the table. Register your Tri-County Metals Factory Direct Rebate for up to $500 back at TriCountyMetals.com.
The only show brave enough to admit we Google half this stuff. This is
And today, we're going to wrap everything up for a Tuesday. Thanks for sharing the show. If you haven't done it, well, it's never too late. All you have to do is tell somebody about the show. Share the show by telling somebody, hey, I listen to the News Junkie radio show. I listen on this station. I love it, and I think you might like it too. Send a link to the podcast if you could. All of that stuff is very helpful. We don't have a lot of time on the way out. Let's see. I could do a one final dispatch.
These are the final dispatches, but Sean will probably only play.
Let's see. Here we go. We sort this out. Refresh these to get the latest and the greatest in the dispatches world. There's some good ones. I'm going to go with Megan talking about St. Patty's Day.
Hey, junkies. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Hey, Megan.
My son finally was able to get on his flight after a 4-hour delay, so he is off to another state for spring break.
Ooh.
I am clocking out of work as we speak, and I'm going to go home, crack open an ice-cold beer, and enjoy the peace and quiet. Hope y'all have a good rest of your day.
Right back at you, Megan. Thank you. Appreciate you. Everybody have a great St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
Be safe out there in the real world.
Yeah.
Lots of different things to do. Enjoy yourself. Drive safe. Take a cab, an Uber, whatever.
And
thank you for all the great photo dispatches of you guys in your Irish get-ups. Like Georgia Josh. I like this one. I drink and I know things. It's as green as can be, sir. And he's got his Harp Lager right there enjoying it.
He's got some big arms, too.
Yeah, he's a little ripped, right? There you go. Congratulations. You got the best one of the day. I'm gonna crown you the victor.
But send a picture with the shirt off.
We could also do this. Here's Dragonfly Ma'am. She's rocking the green shirt, too.
Nice.
She's in the kitchen cooking somewhere. I don't know what restaurant she's at. This is behind the scenes right here. Both of you, email me, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. We'll set you up with a magnet. We'll email one to you so you can play a game of magnets. And now it's time to get the hell out of here. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Tuesday, March 17th, 2026. Let's see. Today I learned there was something called the toast sandwich during Victorian times. No fentanyl in this one, but the toast sandwich was a Victorian sandwich recipe that consisted of 2 slices of bread with a piece of toast in the center of them.
That's bread, I thought.
That sounds a little poor. Actually, it sounds a lot poor the more and more I think of it here. And finally, I got this right because I screwed it up yesterday. Today I learned this show from DTF St. Louis. Right here. The song. Age of Aquarius.
Yeah.
All right, well, it mixes over to the one that I really wanted to get to. Let the sun shine. There it is. This is how
So
I
you
wanted
messed
to
it
end
up again.
yesterday. No, I got it. We're ending with it right now, baby. It's happening. It's a medley of 2 songs from the Broadway show Hair. I almost feel like I've said this before, but here we are on the way out. Watch that DTF St. Louis. Tell us if you love it or if you hate it and why. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Missed any of the show? Get the podcast over at thenewsjunkie.com.